What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about three topics. The first topic we're going to talk about is Nexon reveals that the finals isn't performing as well as it's expected. We're going to be talking about article from Forbes. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League Episode 2 should already be out, but has yet no release date on that. We'll talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about Wayfinder is ditching its free-to-play live service model to become a paid co-op RPG without microtransactions. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We covered news stories, basically, that just broke, as Eclipse said it in the chat. I read the stories along with you guys for the very first time, give you my thoughts and opinions, and then we have conversations with chat inside of the live stream. So I appreciate you guys and gals coming out every day from 10 o'clock till noon. What's going on, Eclipse? What's going on, Argus, Matasbo, BB, Roadkill, First, Dave Rose, Robert Jones? Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing? I thought this Wayfinder story was pretty interesting, considering I was interested in the past about Wayfinder, and then as it got closer, where they said it was a free-to-play game, and then all of a sudden they were doing non-free-to-play stuff, and they were charging it for early access, even though it was in beta, and now they're changing the business model. I thought that was very interesting. What's going on, Dave Langer? So let's we're gonna start off. I think with the. You know what? Let's start off with Paul Tassie's article about Suicide Squad. But before I get to this, I have a question for chat, right? Those of you that are members in my channel, I would like to, non-members and members actually, on this channel, everything's open to everybody, right? And I don't want to close anything off to anybody, but I want to give perks or something more to members. So I would like to hear your opinions on that. And if you can go to our Discord, go to the feedback tab, and let me know what you guys think I should do for members. If it's an extra stream, if it's a certain part of the stream, if it's extra content, getting content first, something, anything. Let me hear your ideas, what you want, because I'm making the content, or maybe you don't want anything different at all. Maybe you just want it as exactly the same, but that's what I want to know. I want to know what you guys want as members that bring, bring more to the table, bring less to the table, just keep it the same. Let me know. Either you can say it here in chat, or you can say it in our Discord in the feedback section. What's going on, Sarge? What's going on, Dolphin? What's going on, RPG? All right, so Paul Tassie had a tweet on Monday talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League Episode 2 should already be out, but has yet no release date. So I like reading Paul Tassie's pieces, one, because it's his opinion, right? And he does bring up a lot of points and good points, usually in his other articles. And this is why I like bringing up his articles to bounce off of, right? So Quintar says, awesome as it is. All right, so Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League Episode 2 should already be out, but has no release date. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday. I read articles live on chat on the live stream, and I read it for the first time, and then give you my thoughts and opinions. If you like this, hit that like, subscribe, and if you'd like to go above and beyond that, hit the membership button down below. All right, so Paul Tassie says that as I continue to monitor an fading heartbeat of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I'm wondering, when am I supposed to head back into the game to check out the content because of Season 1, Episode 2 still does not have a release date, and technically, it should already be out by now. Okay, it's crazy to me how companies don't learn from the other past companies that have made the exact same mistakes. Remember when Anthem came out, and Anthem had problems launching, and then they kind of went radio silent, and they thought that was a good move, right? And then they stayed quiet, and we didn't know what was going on, but that store just kept updating. Then we had, and the reason I'm bringing up these two games is because in the very beginning when this game got announced, I compared it to these two. Then we got Marvel's Avengers, okay? Where that game came out, and it was broke, buggy, right? In the end game type of stuff, sort of like Anthem. And they didn't tell you anything. They went radio silent as well. And then you're like, nah, why did they learn from Anthem? Why didn't Marvel's Avengers learn from Anthem? Why didn't Suicide Squad, that came out literally 3 years later, didn't learn from Anthem, didn't learn from Marvel's Avengers, and yet here we are. They came out and said that we're making a game. It's going to be a live service game. It's going to have seasonal pass, seasonal content, that's all free. Again, the same mistakes that the other two made, and yet they make the exact same mistake again by, here it is, the game's out, yet the season that was supposed to be every 6 weeks, episode 2 of season 1 is supposed to be out by now, and yet they haven't said anything. Kind of strange, but let's read on. So Rocksteady keeps posting new items for upcoming changes that will also hit Suicide Squad for episode 2, where seasons in the game are broken up into 6-week episodes. The first episode launched the new character, concept, and gear set. In this case, it was Joker and the Elseworld, and the Scarecrow set is in episode 2, has similar additions, like a new boss fight, enemies, and some new weapons. But the episode will also come out in significant balance economy and endgame changes, the largest since release. Now, however, with every new update, Rocksteady gives about 2 episodes, gives about episode 2, one thing is missing, an actual release date for the content. And these episodes are meant to drop every 6 weeks. Then episode 1, having launched on March 28th, 6 weeks after that would be May 9th. Now it's May 13th, okay? Kicking off the new week here. And we don't know that the episode is planned out to launch at all this week. And with my luck, he says, as I post this, something after that, I say, but yet every player under every tweet thread is asking, when is this coming out? And Rocksteady has no answers. This is the wrong thing. Remember we talked about when Helldivers came out and they started speaking. I compared it to Suicide Squad. I was like, Suicide Squad went silent for 6 days, and Helldivers within 6 hours was vocal, saying what was happening, what was going on with the servers, and they were proactive. These guys are not active at all, let alone proactive. Okay, it feels like a larger scale consequence is about to hit Rocksteady after WB Discovery specifically singled out the game's poor performance as contributing to a large loss in the past earnings report. Part of a $200 million hole at least, which is not all from Suicide Squad, but it's part of it. Okay, reports are that the game performed below even worst case expectations, but it seems that they are obligated to carry out the live aspect of it, so it's unspecified amount of time. We know a year of content at least is mapped out, but I don't know if it's further drops off or abort the plans, even earlier. It says, strangely, the one thing that Rocksteady would normally have been driving revenue is skins and in the store, but they also have all but ignored the entirely releasing only a small handful, rather poor skins, and other jammed into it takes way too long to finish the battle pass, right? So this is another problem with them. Not only are they not even putting stuff in the store, which is actually a good point. I like to point that as a good point, right? The game is not being updated, right? They're late with their next part 2 of their season, but they're also not just throwing stuff into the store as nothing is actually happening, right? So I guess it's a good sign that they're actually not throwing stuff in the store, but the problem is, all in general, it's just a bad look. They have yet to say anything about part 2 or episode 2 of season 1, right? They're not even putting skins in the game, which that's how they're monetizing the game. Okay, so they're having massive problems there. It says Avengers had this issue too, where it didn't sell any post-launch content but cosmetics, making revenue difficult, but it also had more cosmetics. It also had more players, a lot more. It seems by the way things are going. He says, I'm willing to give Suicide Squad more time if it keeps adding content, but if things are wobbling off schedule without information remaining community, what's going on? That's a problem. The people that are still playing this game, which I'm not, I've deleted the game from my hard drive, okay? I've said in the past that this game will get its 5 episodes or whatever you want to call it, if it's 4 seasons, 5 seasons, right? We had Miller Ross on the show before the game came out. He said they had like a 20-month plan. I think they stick with that. Even if the game bombs completely, I still think they release the content and it'll be up and running for at least 20 months before they close the doors on it, like they did in the past for Anthem or they did in the past for Marvel's Avengers, right? This is a major, major issue. If you are a game developer, if you are a game publisher, if you are a person that's making a game that's live service, there's one thing. You can't have that cake and eat it too. You can't say that we're going to charge microtransactions and a live service aspect, and then when you don't say anything about that, okay, or do anything about that, say nothing on top of that, right? You literally sold this game based on what it was, which is a live service game that was going to get free updates and free stuff and every 6 weeks, and you said all this stuff, and yet nothing's coming out. No one's saying anything. Community managers, and I'm not saying Rocksteady specifically, just community managers in general have completely lost their minds, right? They don't say anything about the game. They go after customers, right? They're being more TNT than actual community managers. They're blowing up bridges instead of making bridges. This is absolutely insane to me that you could be a multi-million, billion-dollar company, okay, in some cases across the board, and yet say nothing. When you made the problem and now you're not saying anything to have a solution or to tell people, hey, I know you gave us $70. I know you gave us $120. I know you got this, whatever, and nothing's happening. This is insane to me. This is just yet another example why you shouldn't pre-order games. This is another example why you shouldn't buy season passes. Now, obviously, Suicide Squad is a free season pass. You're not paying for it. But the issue is you're still selling the game based on the content that you're putting in the game, and yet nothing's happening in the game. No one's saying anything about nothing. Now, me and Sarge have talked about this on Generation X Gaming. I said, if you have anything to say, don't say it at all. But when you already put out the plan of what your plan is, and then say nothing about that plan afterwards, that is red flags galore. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think's happening with Suicide Squad? Do you think it's coming out this week? Do they say anything? Maybe they didn't drop it because Starfield's update, Diablo's update. Who else is having updates this week, right? Ghost of Tsushima's launching this week. Maybe they decided that maybe we shouldn't put it out this week. There's a lot of other things going on. But again, they're not saying anything. Again, these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And if you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. Dave Rose says, it's awesome as it is, in my opinion. But if you want to do something extra for members, maybe an extra weekend stream where you play a game with members or just stream a game, you have a weekend day available. The only company who releases bare bones game and when the radio silence actually makes their game great was Hello Games with No Man's Sky. Yeah, but they also got shit on with that as well, right? Langer, they went silent for 2 years, but I think they had to go silent for 2 years because they had a contract with Sony. I think that's the reason they couldn't say anything or do anything. Not only till it went everywhere else did they start opening up and saying what they were doing. Robert Jones says, I think radio silence is fine as long as you come out with a banger update later. I agree with that, Jones, but at the same time, I think if you're radio silent in the very beginning and kind of give it a surprise, like Helldivers. Helldivers doesn't tell you what they're doing, right? They just do it. Where Marvel's Avengers, Anthem, and Suicide Squad have all told you what they have planned, but yet they tell you they're not telling you when they execute it, which is just kind of weird. What's going on, Waterbear? It's the definition of insanity. All you do is the same thing, but yet expect different results. What is this Suicide Squad news? Sarge says, believe me, and I'm mad about it. I just have to, much going on. Hold on one second. Someone's giving me a phone call. I know if I start Baldur's Gate 3, I will procrastinate my other obligations. So it's in the wild, in a wild pattern, holding pattern. Learn from Anthem. I got stuck in Helldivers 2 Airship. This is too hilarious. What's going on first? Understandable. I finally beat the game with my wife, and I just started a second playthrough with her. For which game? Which game first? I thought this game was done anyways. Already deleted it off my SSD. Maybe they can do a Diablo 4 later on. Call it Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League Reborn. Eclipse says, yeah, I keep it up all the patch notes, and this is stuff that people wouldn't even notice. I don't understand why they aren't putting time into the game. I don't understand, Eclipse. Yeah, I just don't understand what they're doing. Waterbear says it's funny and sad at the same time that they also thought Rocksteady would do better than Avengers. Just take the names out of it, right, Water? Like, I don't care that it's Rocksteady. I don't care that it's Avengers. I would just assume that people in the industry see what other people did in the industry and like, those guys are having a rough time. Let's not do that. And then they're like, nah, let's do exactly that. Let's do exactly what they did. They're probably trying to make it actual content for the game. Shouldn't they have done that before the game came out, Dolphin? Just a thought. Just a thought. Water says they literally came out and said, we are ready. We have content ready. It's a games of service, etc. Trash. Right. They're like, we got a whole season. We got things. We got roadmaps. We showed you. You're fighting 13 Brainiacs. You're going to be doing nothing. Nothing. Quintar says, can't have a live service with no communication from the devs. That's what I'm saying, Quintar. If Starfield, single player game. Starfield says DLC, and we're waiting on the DLC. Not a live service game, right? Live service game comes out and says, we have this for live service. And then they don't say anything about the live service. It's insane. Orga says, my hopes are given a couple of years, this game will actually eventually be good beyond beating the story. And I'll come back to it. But likely, just hopium. Robert Jones says, free to play and free content as ruined gaming. Ron Schlusser says, is Foam Stars dead yet? First says second playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, I got you. Baldur's Gate 3 is a fantastic game. It will soak up much of your time as you give it. Dave Rose says, no, I played Foam Stars weekend. Very fun game. We put over 100 hours into the first play. Oh, for Baldur's Gate 3. Come on, PL. I still have Joker game staring at me. Downloaded it, just waiting for the good news, but then running out. But time is running out for it to delete. Yeah, it's bad. Did the Starfield patch drop yet? I do not know. I don't know. Maybe someone in chat can answer you, Langer. That's the thing, though. I thought the content, but they also had was poop. True. Why did they speak with the devs for Destiny or Division 2? Apparently, they know how the games of service is, as they also been around for quite a while. Because that would take time. Go on, Brain. It's about an hour. Oh, in about an hour. Everybody says, with the state of both the games industry and WB, I think Suicide Squad will release what they have, then Rocksteady make an Arkham game. Game's not getting fixed. They had a chance when delayed it a year. I don't know if they make an Arkham game. I'll be honest. I don't know if they go back and make an Arkham game. I think their next game, if they survive, is just a completely separate game. Quintar says Rocksteady is really by name only now. The team left and made another company. True, and you can say that with a lot of companies, though, Quintar, right? Like Activision's not Activision. Bungie's not Bungie. Rocksteady's not Rocksteady. Team Tango wasn't even the same Tango game company, right? A lot of people left there as well. Oh, I played Joker. He's a fun character, but just the content's just absolutely garbage. Two people equal team. That's the only... People are just holding it back together. Like, two people work for Rocksteady. Like, we're still the old team. We could do this. We can rally. What happened to the Wonder Woman game? It's still working. That's what we know of. It's still working. Single player game. I wonder if what people are saying here. Let's see. Someone said, I'll play the Seasons of Multiverses, which is also a Joker season. One person says, I wonder why. I guess we're shutting down any planned unreleased content is coming. I wonder if they release the offline mode, but seriously doubt it. That's a good question. They said they're going to put an offline mode in that game, right? Same thing with, what's that game that just closed down that didn't have an offline mode ready? Oh, that's right, Redfall. Redfall was supposed to have an offline mode, and they didn't get it out before the studio closed. And now you have Rocksteady who said, oh yeah, we're going to put an offline mode in, but that'll come later in the year. Do you think, let's take bets. Do we get the offline mode before this game shuts down? Or do we get it after the game shuts down? I think we get it after the game shuts down. Or do we get it not at all? What do you think? Before the game shuts down? Right before the game shuts down? After the game shuts down? Or after it gets announced it shuts down? Or never? That's the question. Yeah, Joker was fun to play. Just doing the same thing over and over. I can't use my old builds and spend about 100 hours getting up. Yeah, it was bad. So much potential. Waterbear says, can we look at this as it's a bust since it came out and said it was a games of service and have not delivered? You know what I would do? Remember No Man's Sky came out and it was not a live service game, right? They still haven't said it's a live service game, but yet they're doing a better live service job than other live service games. Then you have Helldivers, which didn't really promote that it was a live service game, but they're doing a better job at live service than other live service games. So I think the key is not to call it a live service game and then do live service game. Sarge says, but the issue isn't blatant. They release unfinished, then promise to fix, then one that plays, and then they say that there's no reason to fix it because no one is playing. Get the fuck out of here. Put the offline mode in and release and all the seasons at once and dip. That would actually be worth it though then, Dolphin, right? Because if they put the offline mode on and you can play all the content, then I think that's a win. That's a win for the gamers anyway. Someone that buys it up for $30, $20 down the road. Dave Rose says, we don't get an offline mode, period. Eclipse says we get it after it shuts down. Dave Rose says, heck, it isn't the game already on offline mode? Who's playing this multiplayer? It's broken as hell. Jack says, how many actually put in the effort to make the live service game enjoyable? And they wonder why player numbers are down. Yeah, it's miraculous how it's working. We're going to talk about another live service game. We're going to go into that in a second, which is Wayfinder. Okay. I paid $100 for that content. I mean, technically, you paid $100 for 3 days early access. You paid $70 for the game and then $30 more for early access. That content is technically free. Why tell people, don't pre-order games. Wait a day, wait a week, wait a month. Roadkill says, man, I just started a new job for these two sisters, Ginger and Patty, and they both like $80. They both like 80, the wallpaper and skim coating and painting. But these are two old ladies at 80, got a lot more energy than me. Investors might learn one day. Gamers might learn one day as well. Right, Jones? Imagine paying $100 for Redfall. $125. It was $125, I think, Langer. Waterbear says, Wayfinder has found a way off my SSD as well. Robert Jones says, I'm going to pay Suicide Squad in 2 years and talk about how good the game is. Yep, but at that point, Jones, right, you wouldn't be lying. Because if you could pick up that game for like $20, $30, you know what I mean? And it has 5 seasons worth of content in there, then it would be good, right? Come on, Mr. Luke. Come on, Hilly. Sarge says, I've learned, don't give anyone day one money. Langer says, Waterbear. So it found a way to find off your SSD. That's right. It's a good pun. Good pun. El Nini says, Suicide Squad is game of the year. For what? Game of the year for worst game? Worst game of the year? I mean, I'll give you that. I'll give you that as in not the game itself, because the game itself for the story, it's a decent story, right? It's a decent single player, right? It's a decent single player story driven game, but everything after that point I'll agree with you, El Nini. It's one of the worst games this year. Eclipse says, I still love Wayfinder. I'm actually kind of happy it's going single player because there will be way more story now, and I played the game single player anyway. What you just described, Eclipse, take away Wayfinder, right? Take away Wayfinder, and now insert Suicide Squad. What's the difference? What's the difference? Right? I love Suicide Squad. I'm actually kind of happy it's going single player. That there will be more story now. I played the game single player anyway, right? You see what I'm saying? It's exactly what I said in the very beginning before Suicide Squad came out. I said, I'm going to play it just for the single player campaign. And after that, everything else is bonus, right? This is why I'm not upset at Suicide Squad. But I do think as a company pitching this game to somebody and saying, you should buy this game, because it's a live service game that we're constantly, all content's free. We're going to give you new characters, new content, and it's going to come out every 6 weeks. And you're like, wow, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll give you money for that. And then they don't do any of that. Winzo Guy says, I might be wrong, but I think Wayfinders doing this is going to be a lot healthier for the game and have better chance to stay around and more successful. I haven't gone back in a long time, but we'll once. Yeah, get the update. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Just a second. I was right again about Wayfinder because I would have to go back and check the video I made about Wayfinder when it first came out. I played the beta. I liked it, right? And I went, I was like, after I played it, I played about 3 or 4 hours of Wayfinders. And I went, you know what? I'm not going to play it when it comes out because, one, it was supposed to be a free-to-play game. Then they said we're coming out with an alpha, which is still beta or alpha is out. I forget what it is. Okay. And then, did they fully launch it? I don't think they fully launched it because if they fully launched it, it would have been free-to-play. But they decided that they were going to charge microtransactions and it was paid for because you had to get the founders packs to get in. And I went, oh no. I was like, I know what you're doing here. Not falling for it. So I stopped playing it before it actually launched and did the founders pack or whatever. And then now they're changing the complete business model of it. How is the campaign of Suicide Squad? Jax, the campaign of Suicide Squad is about, I want to say about 10 to 12 hours. Okay, you can do it faster if you skip all the cutscenes and shit, but if you're actually playing the story, you could, I think the fastest person did it in like 8 hours, I think, but you could do it, it's about 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours. The story itself is decent. It's not great. It's good storytelling, okay? People don't like it because of certain things that happen. I don't want to ruin it for you if you want to get the game, but certain characters were portrayed because they just wanted to hate on something instead of just taking the story as is. So it's a good single-player game. It's not worth the full price, right? If it's on sale right now for 50% off, it's still not worth full price, and here's why. The first DLC drop with the Joker, and there's 0 content for story on top of that. The story is like audio files and stuff like that. Like, don't get it now. Just wait. Just wait. If you're going to pick up Suicide Squad, trust me, just wait for seasons 2, 3, 4, and once the game is done, they're going to put it out. Even when if and when they announce the game is done and they're not supporting anymore, it will go on sale. You pick it up. You'll have all the content, and it'll be worth well more, okay, later in life than it is right now. Do not pick it up now. How much money have we deleted from our hard drives? For me, $150 Diablo 4 and Starfield. You play it and you move it on. This is why you don't buy games don't buy games day one. All right, let's go to story number 2. Story number 2. If you guys like what we do here, we cover news stories. I read them for the very first time on channel. Give you my thoughts and opinions and have a conversation back and forth with live chat. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as low as $5. Okay. Wayfinder. Okay. Wayfinder's announcing Wayfinder Echoes. I always love games that come out with expansions and other story content before the actual game launched. Before I even look that up, right? Let me see. When did Wayfinder... What's the release date? Update, Wayfinder is now releasing on Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 simultaneously on August 17th. Looking forward to seeing you. All right, so it's not even technically out yet, right? Initial release date was 2023, but that was what? That was a beta, right? Wasn't that a beta? I'm pretty sure. All right, let's go to Steam real fast. Yeah, early access. It's an early access game. It's not out yet. Okay? That's exactly right, Jones. I was just about to say that. It's the ARC model. ARC survival model. Let's update games before we're even done with them. Okay? So they've now putting content in, which is announcing Wayfinder Echoes. It's a single player, okay, single player and co-op, one price for $24.99. Remind you that this game was a free-to-play game. That's what they pitched it as. That's what they were going to do, free to play. But now it's a one price, $24.99, no microtransactions or in-game purchases whatsoever. And that was a huge thing because that's what they did. Free to play with microtransactions. New Wayfinder, okay? Get a new character, weapons and armor drops, new zones, and much more. June 11th on Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox XS fall, and we'll read more. So let's read more, shall we? So Wayfinder is ditching its free-to-play live service model to become a paid co-op RPG without microtransactions. Okay. This article comes from Rock Paper Shotgun. It says Wayfinder, currently a free-to-play RPG developed by Airship Syndicate, is undergoing a pretty drastic change in its upcoming Echoes patch. Right now, it's a live service game with microtransactions, but soon continue it as paid co-op RPG with no in-game monetization. Now, I have a question. This sounds nice, right? But what about all those people that paid their money for the microtransactions? Now, are the people that bought those things, can they never get them in-game? And the people that got it in-game, are they going to be able to get it for free? Are you giving money back for the people that paid for those microtransactions? These are questions I have, but let's find out. Maybe they say it in the article. And that alongside promised tweaks to how progression works. Okay, it's often used to see paid games go free to play, but it's an unexpected switcheroo. Okay, appreciate that. Thank you very much for the subscription. For the existing Steam founders, Wayfinder Echoes updates will be playable on May 31st, but will officially launch on June 11th. The update itself will remove all in-game monetization, and everything previously purchased will be earnable through play. Okay, characters, weapons, and armor sets. There won't be any online requirements either, so no need for online accounts. And Wayfinder will be priced at $24.99. That includes all present and future early access stuff, with the price increasing once it leaves early access. Holy Christ. So now there's okay. Let me read this passage again. Okay. 1, the update itself will remove all in-game monetization, and everything previously purchasable will be earnable. Fantastic. So I just want to know, are you giving a refund for everybody that paid money for those things? Or I'm assuming not, okay, because now it's earnable through play, okay? Character weapons and armor sets. There won't be an online requirement either. So you don't need online requirement. Boom, bonus, okay? Neither, so no need for online accounts, okay? And Wayfinder will be priced at $24.99. That's including all present and future early access stuff, with that price increasing once it leaves early access. So get in on the ground floor now, okay? To bring it more in line with the paid RPG Airship or revamping of the core systems, randomized weapon drops, armor, and with the variable stats, it's easier process to collecting characters, a talent system, 4 difficulty levels, a new open world area that's 3 times larger than before, and more apparently seems like a poly to make it a lot more in line with your Diablo and Destinies. where you're also chasing those god rolls, like me, for instance, who wants it to get to Revolver in Destiny, that is a mixture of two excellent perks, is also willing to spend countless hours doing the same instance over and over. Okay, so here's the roadmap. Gotta love roadmaps. Okay, Wayfinder 2024 roadmap. May 31st, Echo updates soft launch for all founders. Continue playing as normal on PlayStation and Steam. June 11th, Echo update is live, and the game sales resume at $24.99. Okay, summer, Echo's update is live, and game sales resume at $24.99. Okay, and then fall, Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox Wayfinder leaves early access, and the price increases. I'm gonna say something right now. This is not gonna do very well. It's not gonna sell very well, and it'll probably go on Game Pass pretty soon after that, because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get a chunk of money up front from Microsoft because people are not gonna buy it. They're just gonna put it on Game Pass as more of fluff for value. Okay, because there's no monetization after that anyway. So we'll see what happens there. All of this comes at a strange time for Airship, as they partnered with Digital Extremes a few months ago and were transferred full ownership of the game. Not to mention that Wayfinder's reviews haven't gone down at all that well on Steam, with the criticism leveled up as the monetization and the bugginess. Okay, it says, I previewed Wayfinder many moons ago. Now that I thought they showed some promise, I just don't think it did all that much to stand out, especially when you have lots of other games that do Destiny shtick as well, or well-established MMORPGs where you also get similar-ish experience. So perhaps the switch from free-to-play to paid isn't all that unexpected. At the time of writing this, Wayfinder sits at 18 concurrent players. Ooh, 18 concurrent players, and this Echoes update really does feel like the last-ditch effort for entice anyone to give it a crack. But when the big changes, I worry that most folks wouldn't want to fork out $25 to earn dollars on a game that's unlikely to deliver a co-op romp that you can get anywhere else. So this is bad. 18 players. You're seeing that game die in real time. Okay, 18 players. Look, the gameplay and stuff felt really good. It almost felt like a lot of people said it felt like Fortnite. I don't think it felt like Fortnite. I think it felt more like what's that one that was like a Monster Hunter game? I can't the hell was that Diablo style Monster Hunter game called? Not Diablo style. I can't think of it. It starts with a D. It's at the tip of my tongue, and I can't even Dauntless. Thank you, Krebsy. Yes, Dauntless. It reminded me of Dauntless a lot, right? It was like a Monster Hunter-esque Dauntless type of character. Like, look at it. It looks like it. Okay. But it also felt like a Destiny type of thing where you level up, you go into dungeons and instances and stuff like that. I actually had a lot of fun playing the game, but I saw it and I was like, oh, it's... The game mechanics inside of Wayfinder, you could tell because of the free-to-play model, you were like, oh, you're going to pay for this, you're going to pay for that, they're going to charge you to get upper boosts and whatnot. And I went, I'm out. I'm not playing it. And now they're going to a full-fledged system. Now, this is interesting because the game has been built around a live service model / monetization. Meaning when they do this update, they had to really remove that stuff. And now the game might not feel right because it was actually built on the foundation of a free-to-play monetization. Now when you go play the game, you're going to see this like different things happen in the game. And you're like, this feels a little off. This doesn't fit right now because it was built solely on the purpose of a free-to-play monetization, microtransaction. So it'll be very interesting to see how this survives, if it survives, because good point is $25, I think, is a good price point for this type of game. Goes up. I don't know what it's going up to, if it's going from 25 to 30 or 35. By the time it comes out for Xbox, obviously it'll get charged at $30, $35, whatever they're charging for it. But at that point, we're talking, what'd they say, August? Right? In the fall, right? They say August in the article. By the time it comes out for Xbox, I think it'll just be on Game Pass. And I think that's how Digital Extremes is going to, because, again, they're the ones that are now in ownership of it. They gave it full rights to them to do it. And I think that's what they do. They just put it out on Xbox in Game Pass, or they put it on PlayStation Plus as more of get money up front from the company to subsidize what they lost from the monetization and whatnot. And then they just put it out there as more more cannon fodder for those streaming services, you know, just more value for that streaming service. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think about Wayfinder? Do you think it'll make it with this update, this Echoes update, with this this new update and these changes that they're making? Is this good or bad for the game? Did you enjoy Wayfinder? If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. And if you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's crazy to me that the game never came out fully. And now they're changing it. Now, obviously, the people that are already in the game. So I have a question now. I have a question. Okay, if I go to Steam right now, you can't purchase it, right? You cannot purchase it right now. It's closed off, right? Because I was going to say, I think you can get a Founders Pack. You can get a Founders Pack for cheaper than what they're charging for. But I don't think you can purchase it anymore. Where's early access? Get immediate access to the game being developed and community's involvement. These games are involved. Yeah, no, it doesn't say. I don't think you can get it anymore. I was going to say, if you're interested in it, I would get it now because it's cheaper than if you pay the $25. But I think the actual minimum, if I'm not mistaken, was $25 for that. Wayfinder was an MMO. It was an MMO light. Yeah. It was like you're in the tower. You can see other people. But then when you went in the instance, you would go in with other people if you wanted to, or you can go in solo. $20 if you bought it early access like I did. Call it whatever you want. Early access, beta, Founders Edition. Your game is playable cover to cover. It's released. I agree, Krebsy. I agree. But in their world, not released. Big pass. Bought it and played it early access for no reason. But it'll be May 31st. Core people who already own the game on Steam. Stickfester says, I bought the $150 Founders Pack and I have 500 hours into the game. This news is soul crushing. And I'm sorry about that, man. I'm sorry about that. No, you don't have to pay for this. You don't have to pay on top of this. If you already have the game, you have it. It's like a free update for the people that bought it. But yeah, man, this is exactly why, and I know you're new to my channel, I tell people all the time, don't pre-order, don't get these games early. Just wait day one, wait. But I know a lot of people, I'm one of them. I like playing early access games. By the time the game comes out, I've already put my time in. It seems like you got your money's worth. Right, you paid $150. You have 500 hours worth of time in that game. It sounds like, I know you say it's soul crushing, but I think you got your money's worth just based on the information you just said. $150, 500 hours. I think you got your money's worth. So I wouldn't put your head down too hard. I mean, you got your time in it. Go on, Lurker. They're trying to turn the MMO into a single-player experience. Good luck. Yeah, it's going to feel like a completely different game in an empty shell, I would think, Water. The world's going to feel very, very empty. Yep. Isn't Wayfinder exclusive to PlayStation? It is right now. It's Steam and PlayStation, and then it comes out for Xbox in the fall, which will be 1 year since it came out into early access. Eclipse says Airship Syndicate owns it now. Digital Extremes gave it to him. Oh, it's the opposite. Airship owns it now. Digital Extremes had it before. I thought it was the opposite. Are you sure about that? I mean, you're probably right. I could have sworn Disney Steam Founders. All this comes at a strange time for Airship as they parted. Oh, they parted with Digital Extremes a few months ago. They parted with them. So Airship just left Digital Extremes. Got it. And they were transferred full ownership. So Digital Extremes broke off from them and gave them complete, well, you know what? Digital Extremes did that. They're like, yeah, this game is done. They're like, let's cut our losses. The game I was thinking of was Warlander. Oh, we played that on streamers too, Dolphin. Can you unbake a cake? I'm sure there's some device that you could put it in, Hilly. Where it just turns to goo again. I don't know. Man, I don't know how you're gonna do this. I don't know how you're gonna do this with Wayfinder. It's a shame. This is what happens. Because I guarantee you Gotham Knights at one point was a live service game. And then you see what Gotham Knights is after they pulled the live service out of it. And you're like, it's kind of weird. Certain things in the game, you're like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't feel right in the game. And that's what happens when you make a live service game. But they did it before it came out. People played this. They know what it is. And then all of a sudden, now you're asking people, like Hilly just said, can you unbake a cake? Like, people played this light MMO RPG with other people, and now they're like, yeah, now it's a single-player co-op game. And you're like, huh? What? 30 Gambit in X-Men 97 is such a badass. Loving the series. I have to continue watching it. I'm only on episode 4. I gotta finish watching it. What's going on, Smoke? What's going on, Gaming Fire? Yeah, this is insane. This is insane how people are chasing trends. Chasing trends. I say this day in and day out on this show, on our podcast. Make a game. Make a game. Sell a game. Whatever game that is, be true to what you want to make. X Factor says, I own it. I played an hour. I think I bought the cheapest one a while back. Well, you get this update for free, so you can continue playing it, Factor. Sarge says, what does it say about the vision when you're chasing a fucking trend? Yeah. What was working in Wayfinder? It could be argued this way an early access process is for. But shouldn't and this is why I think if it's early access, and I've said this in the past, Jones, that you shouldn't pay anything, or you should pay a really cheap price. But what happens is they do a founders pack, and they're like, well, you get this. This is $30, and this is $50. Let me look up what the founders packs were. Yeah, they shut it off, right? So you can't even go look at the founders packs right now. Let's see if I can go on someone else's thing. Yep, they shut them all down. You can't look at them on PlayStation Store. You can't look them up on Steam. Let's see. Let's go see if we have some images we can get. Oh, beautiful. Right? They have no problem. They got no problem when they're asking for this. Okay. This was the base pack. Okay, $20. Right? Free to play game now. Remember now. Free to play game. And it was supposed to come out as free to play, but they wanted you to pay $20. They wanted you to pay $50 for this free-to-play game. They wanted you to pay $90 for this free-to-play game. And they wanted you to pay $150 for this free-to-play game, which in less than, what, 6 months, 7 months? When did it come out? When did it launch? When did it launch? It came out last year in like October? Something like that? Hell, I'll give him 9 months. In less than 9 months, someone that paid $150 now can get the exact same thing for $25. Here's the thing. I know this is here's a hard pill to swallow. Okay? I mean this from the loving bottom of my heart. We are the problem. They are not the problem. We are the problem. We keep buying this shit, and this is what they do. If you're buying an early access game for $150, you're the problem. You're buying an early access game for $90, you're the problem. You're buying a $50 game, early access, you're the problem. You're buying a $20 early access game, you're the problem. You shouldn't be buying games like this until they're proven and they come out. Not early access founders pack, out, released. Early access, they should give you codes for early access. Hey, try our game out. Let us know what you think about it. Nope. Pay me $150 and then let me know what you think about our game. For a game that's going to be free to play. But here's the mentality. I wanted to support the devs. Salty says, let me ask this. Would you prefer that Warframe free-to-play model or Transformers or just another single-player, multiplayer Transformers game? One and done and see you in another 5 years. I personally would like a one-and-done video game. I'll stand by this, Salty. Everyone always says that, who's playing this game anymore? This is why I think it's funny when people bring up Spider-Man or they bring up Starfield. They're like, well, are people still playing it? It doesn't matter. It's a single-player game. You play the game, you put it down, you move on, right? So I never understood when people compare single-player games to live service games. Like, well, this game is still being played. No shit. It's a live service game, right? I would rather have another Transformers game, one and done. But I also, if you give me a game and you actually can, very few people have yet to prove this, but if Transformers Reactivate comes out and it is that free-to-play live service game, okay, if I like that game and the game is good because they made a game and they're selling a game, and I can continue playing that game like a Destiny 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years later, I'm okay with that as long as the game's not broke, buggy, and unfinished. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of ifs in that equation. I would rather have a one and done game. I would also rather have a one and done game with DLC, right? So if you made a Transformers game and you want to add DLC to it, cool. Waterbear says, now this is one game I feel like a moron on investing in for $20 base pack, but compared to $150, not so much. Yep, I bought the $20 one. Looks like I saved $5. You still paid $20 too much. Because they're changing the whole thing of the game. They're changing the entire thing of the game. So it's not even the same game that you paid for. Now, look, let me stress this. If you like something, spend money on it. The question here is, this game's not even released. It's still in early access. It's still in testing phase, and people paid $150. Okay? People paid $20. If the game is launched, it's in gold, and it charged $150 for extra stuff, cool. Early access / GoFundMe. Yeah. Actually, I believe that's where this started. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Wayfinder started on... Was it GoFundMe? No, that's a different Wayfinder. I remember they started something. They raised money somewhere. Recent reviews are very negative. Behemoth says, don't have time to play Wayfinder, only play Diablo 4 and Destiny 2. I'm good. Factor says, I like the new direction. Is there a spot? Do they tell you what they're changing within the game? Let me see something. Did they say it on their blog post or anything? Okay, we'll go over that in a second. I'm going to bring this up in a second. Billy says, I don't mind DLC in general, but even with a single-player / co-op, one-and-done game, I still expect the base game to be solid. Have a start, middle, and an end, and the DLC should be extra because it's good. Right, Hilly. And that's that title of make a game. Make a game, sell a game, right? Are the people buying the early access also submitting feedback? I don't think so, Jones. I would assume that most people that just get the early access are just getting the game and playing it. Early access also says a lot about what the industry is going, because people get bored of what they're playing, and they would rather, instead of waiting for that game to come out, they would rather pay money for an early access copy of that instead of just waiting for the game to come out. Instead of playing the games that are out, they would rather play an early access game because they're bored of the games that are already out. And by the time that game launches, a very finite, hardcore group that likes Wayfinder will still play Wayfinder when it launches. For instance, I didn't pay money for this. I was in the early access, early beta and stuff of Sea of Thieves. I played Sea of Thieves for 2.5 years before it launched. I played it 5 months after it launched, and I was already good. I was tired of it. Right? I gave them feedback. I helped them make the game. But I also didn't pay for the game. I paid for 2.5 years helping them test their game out. I don't mind this business model when they have informed consumers. I just feel like they can change it on the whim. Based on, well, it's not out yet, so we can do what we want. Yeah, I'll put it in the Discord. They said it on Steam. I have it. I have it on the. I have it on their blog post of Airship Syndicate. I appreciate it. K Titan says the business model with vast difference in edition pricing is weird and money grabbing. To be frank, yeah. I'll personally take a single player any day, full of love from the devs and creativity, than the online model. Now, I'll be honest with you. I have a bad taste in my mouth with Wayfinder more now, but I'm also hopeful that their game that they're changing, a one and done type price, is good. I hope the game is good now, that it doesn't have the monetization in there, which it says it doesn't. It's a one price and it's a one and done game. $25 seems like a good price. Okay, seems like a good price, but at the same time, if they change it now, can they change it again afterwards? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I can really trust a company that doesn't even know what they want from their game. But let's go over the key updates here in Echoes. Okay, this is from the game director. Conversion from service-based to premium. Wayfinder is shifting permanently, from a service-based game to featuring offline solo or 3-player co-op play, removing the need for online accounts, logins, or in-game purchases. This adjustment allows for gameplay on devices like Steam Deck and home PCs. All existing progress will also reset since saves will now be local. Oh, Jesus. Are you telling me that people... So I have a question. So Factor. Was it Factor? No, who was it? It was it wasn't Factor. It was Stinkfester, right? He put 500 hours into this game. He now has to do it all over again? Whew. Am I reading that correctly? All existing progress will reset since saves will now be local. That right there, right? That right there, I would never play the game again. Me personally. If I put 500 hours in the game and all of a sudden my stuff got resetted, I'm done. Done. And I would ask for my money back. Here's the big question. Here's the big question. If they charge you $150, but now the price is $25, is the game really worth that $150 point that they gave you? Lurker says, honestly, 30, if you're only paid $150 to get fucked that hard, you may be doing okay. Oh my God. All right, let's go to the next thing. Okay, pricing and access. During the early access, Wayfinder is priced at $24.99 with a price increase plan for the full release. This one-time price covers all the content created until the leaving early access, with no microtransactions or other in-game purchases. Existing founders maintain access and will receive all exclusive items originally included in their packs. Okay. Gameplay changes, significantly improvements. You mean finish the game? Almost. Have been made to all major systems in the game. Updates include 4 selectable difficulty levels, randomized weapon drops, collectible armor sets with unique stats, streamlined character acquisitions, expanded limits for housing items, a slick new UI, and a new traditional RPG talent system. Okay. Dates and platforms. A soft launch with all these changes is scheduled for May 31st on Steam, with all the online requirements and player data being removed at this time. Wayfinder will once again be available to purchase in early access on Steam starting June 11th. PlayStation 5 and 4 players can continue playing as normal until the Echoes update is released on PlayStation 5. Upon the release of Echoes update on PlayStation and PlayStation 4, support will be discontinued, with all PlayStation 4 versions being upgraded to PlayStation 5 copies at no additional cost. Wait a minute. That's sort of like the S and X right now. What? They get it for free? That's good. That's good for them. The future, while in early access, the game will be updated with a new Wayfinder, new weapons and armor, new areas to explore, new quests, and more. Wayfinder will also be coming to Xbox Series X and S towards the end of 2024, at which point the game will leave early access and officially launch. Existing Steam founders can play the Echoes update beginning on May 31st, and the update will officially launch on Steam on June 11th. When the game will also return to Steam early access, the purchase of the changes will also roll out on PlayStation 5, which we already read. Ongoing enhancements include the additional new character, new overworlds, new dungeons, and expand housing options before the game exists in early access. This effort underscores Airship Syndicate's dedication to Wayfinder instead of discontinuing the online title. Well, I appreciate that they shows their dedication, but it also shows their dedication that they didn't have a vision for their game. And something went terribly wrong why they made the switch from what it was to what it's going to be. Okay? Which, if they can do it once, they can change the business model yet again any other time. Okay? The studio has worked to honor its founders by transforming it into a game that can be enjoyed forever. Although this shift was not part of the original plan, the resulting updates have been made the game better overall, creating a more meaningful experience. So then why did you do the original? Why did you chase the trend? Why didn't you just make this like this from the beginning? Airship Syndicate is hopeful that these improvements will not only satisfy existing fans, but also draw in new players, allowing to continue supporting the game well into the future. Look, good luck. I hope that this works out for them. I do. If they could show that they actually made a game, sold a game, to be honest, it's not out yet. It's in early access. Okay. You make this change before the full launch. That's a scary change for the I'm sure for the studio. Okay. I don't like that they did what they did, but I hope now that they made, hopefully, into a game, an actual game, sell this game, and they support this game going forward with DLCs that you pay for, then I think they can survive. Okay? But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay? That sucks, okay? Salty says, where does Salty say? Salty says, invest in only early access. A title knows fits my as my taste as vast, so Manor Lords, No Rest for the Wicked, and 6 Days in Fallujah. All different, but I know they will deliver. I played only an hour, so I'm good. Salty says, let's type that again. That's so they don't have to pay for the servers. Cheap bastards. Look, if you don't need an online game, then don't make an online game. They were literally chasing the trends. They're like, we can make an online game. We can make all the money. We can make money with the microtransactions. And they're like, no one's playing our game. Well, I think we have to make a game now. Eclipse says, on their Discord, they said that they asked for our money back. Steam should give it to you. That's good. Hopefully they get it. Hopefully the people that want their money back get their money back. Salty says, I invest in early access titles I know fits my taste, which is the vast, so Manor Lords, No Rest for the Wicked, and 6 Days in Fallujah are all different, but I know it will deliver for myself. YouTube Lurker said with the comment, that would have sucked if I put up 500 hours into the game. Yeah, that's going to hurt. Wait, Metro Prime 2 Echoes is getting updated? No. It's not. No, it's Wayfinder. What will it be then, in your opinion? What do you mean? What will it be then? It's gonna be pretty fun as a single player offline RPG game for $25. Factor, I hope it is. I enjoyed it when I played it. I got a code for it. I played the beta, or not a code. I got a beta. I played the beta for it. Okay, or early access, alpha, whatever you want to call it. I played for about 4 to 6 hours. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was like, free-to-play game. I was like, I'm out. Because I saw the tiers, what they were doing, and what they were going to charge for. Okay? And I was like, I'm out. I don't want to play a free-to-play game. Now that they're making it into a single-player game, I might enjoy it, but I'm also not going to get this, not until it launches, because I want to see if it's an actual game. I think the remnants of what the live service aspect of it is might stick its head out too much and kind of feel weird in this game. I hope it's good. I do. I hope it's good. Still waiting for the Transformers Battlefield pitch, Sarge. As long as it gets it from where they bought it, yeah. The shifts is better than the shutdown. Hopefully for them. Right? I mean, the masses that are playing it right now, what did they say, 18 people? Let's look at Wayfinder Steam charts. Now, I'm sure someone's going to say that more people are playing this on PlayStation, which is fine, right? Right now we have 33 people, 60 people peak, and 24,712 people in the last 9 months. It's been out for 9 months. So it's not going to be paid single-player game. Yes, single-player co-op game with hosted locally. So if you're the host, Jones, and we're playing on your server, we would go to your game. It'd be too good to be true. It'd be too good to be true. That's a real Echoes. They don't deserve to take the name. Factor says, my Diablo 4 outfit was 26, so there you go. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Thoughts on Nick Cage, Noir Spider-Man? Well, I'm torn here, right? From that, Dolphin, because one, we've had this conversation in the past. I think if you already played a character, and we've talked about Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm and then being Captain America. We've talked about, you know, what they're doing with Jason Momoa, where he's playing Lobo, but he's also played Aquaman. Now you have Nicolas Cage, who played Ghost Rider. Okay, I'm okay with like Ben Affleck playing a Marvel character now then playing a DC character. You know what I mean? But it's a little weird if you're being in the same realm. Now, obviously, Nick Cage is the voice actor for the character in the Spider-Verse, but now he's going to be the character inside the movie, which I actually kind of like, because I actually said I think characters should be the same across the board. But couldn't they get anybody else? Right? Couldn't they get anybody else? I feel like we always keep getting like the same actors to be the same things. I don't know. I like Nick Cage. I mean, it's going to be a TV series. I like Nick Cage. It could be good. Fulton says, I think Snipes is going to be show up in Deadpool 3 as Blade. I mean, at this point, Deadpool 3 is just Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, is it not? I can't wait till we get done with this fucking multiverses. I'm so tired of the multiverses. Specifically in the Marvel movies and TV shows. Oh yeah, I love Nicolas Cage, Green. I love Nicolas Cage. One of my favorite movies of all time from him is Raising Arizona. If you've never seen Raising Arizona, it's a fantastic little film. I like National Treasure, Con Air. You know what I mean? I love Con Air, The Rock. There's so many movies that he's in that he's just amazing in. The character, man. What's the other one? What's the one in Vegas where he's the Elvis impersonator? He jumps out of the airplane as the Elvis impersonator. James Caan's in there. Yeah, Face Off. What's that movie? I can't think of the one. Chad will get it. Sarge will get it. Someone will come out with it. No, I get it, Water. I get it. Yeah, I'm okay with it because he voiced the thing. I just think it's funny. That oh, Snake Eyes is another one. Yeah. I just think it's funny that out of all the actors in the world, they keep using the same actors that have already played superheroes inside the universe. Come on, Dark Taco. Oh, God, what is that movie called? Hold on. Leaving Las Vegas. I was going to say that. Yeah, 1995, Leaving Las Vegas. Another great movie. Yep, Salty just said it as you guys just said it after the fact. I just looked it up. I looked over the chat and I see you guys saying it. Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas. He's got so many movies, man. One of his worst movies ever is oh wait, is it Honeymoon in Vegas or is it Leaving Las Vegas? No, it's Honeymoon in Vegas. It's not Leaving Las Vegas. It's Honeymoon in Vegas. Yeah, one of his worst movies ever is Moonstruck with Cher. So bad. His acting in that movie is literally terrible. It's not his first movie. He's got a couple different. Can I make this dark? Okay. He's got a couple of movies before Moonstruck. Small girl, like small ones. 81, The Best of the Times, Fast Times at Richmond High, Valley Girl, Rumblefish, Racing with the Moon, Cotton Club, Birdie. I think Moonstruck. No, because Raising Arizona was actually before Moonstruck. Oh, Peggy Sue Got Married? I remember that. Vampire Kiss? That's a terrible movie. Such a bad movie. He's got a hell of a career, man. Love The Rock. The Rock's another great. Con Air and The Rock. People get those confused all the time. He had bangers, man. Look at this. The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, City of Angels, Snake Eyes, 8mm. Like, the dude's been working nonstop, man. Good for him. Solid movies from 1981 to now. Take what back, Eclipse? Take what back? I totally forgot he was in The Flash. He played a variant of Superman, didn't he? And then upcoming films that he has. Lords of War, Carpenter's Son, Noir, Gunslingers, Long Legs, and The Surfer. The Vampire Kiss was a terrible movie. It was a terrible movie. I didn't see it, Salty. The CGI Superman was bad. Let me see what else here. Sometimes it's the writing, not the actor. No, in the movie of the Kiss, the vampire movie, he literally is a terrible actor. And sure, the writing can be bad, but the writing can be fantastic and you still have a bad actor, and the writing can be shitty, and the actor is the best actor in the world and it still comes across shitty. I forget the name, but I like the Nick Cage movie where the Earth is coming to an end. I think the aliens are taking the kids to a new planet. What movie is that? What movie is that? Meteorite. Is it about the one that hits the meteorite? Apocalyptic conquest for family living and their possibility of the world? Is it Color Out of Space? Is that what it's called? Renfield? Renfield is a Dracula movie. It's called Knowing. 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 Didn't know this was a thing. MIT professor John links the mysterious list of numbers from a time capsule to the past to the future disaster as set out to prevent an ultimate catastrophic. So it's called Knowing. Okay. Interesting. Really good. Don't watch Madam Web. Don't worry, I won't. I used to love watching fucking movies. I still love watching movies, but I used to go to the movie theaters all the time. We went through a stage of doing low budget. Well, actors just want to act. You know what I mean? Actors just want to act. What's the one that Nicolas Cage played Nicolas Cage? What's that one? Yeah, with Pedro. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Was that good? Back in the day, I actually have a script when I was in school for film. I wrote a script for Bruce Willis. And this was the actual script. I'll tell you, because Bruce Willis can't do it. So if someone else wants to do it with somebody else, it's fine. Okay. I had a script written for Bruce Willis where Bruce Willis, okay, was playing Bruce Willis. Okay, it's almost like what the Nicolas Cage thing happened. So it was Bruce Willis playing Bruce Willis. So it takes place on a movie set. Okay? Yeah. Right? Bruce Willis plays Bruce Willis. He's acting on a film, and he's making like Die Hard, 10. Okay? And a movie studio gets taken over by a bunch of terrorists. Okay? And they're holding the guy hostage. Okay? And Bruce Willis's family, actual family, is on set that day, and they're taken hostage, okay, in this movie. So now Bruce Willis, the actor, has to now play as his character from Die Hard that he's playing in the movie, and he doesn't know because he's just an actor, okay? He's just an actor. But he takes everything that he's learned from all the other past Die Hard movies, okay? And it becomes this like fourth wall dimension breaking type of thing where it's sort of like a Deadpool where he's like talking and saying the lines of his movies when he's taking out actual guys. So now it's an action film with Bruce Willis doing a Die Hard movie, but it's not a Die Hard movie. He's filming the Die Hard movie, but he's actually doing the actual thing now in real life, right? So he has to actually kill people and save his actual family. That was my actual script. I wanted to do it so bad. I thought it would have been an amazing film because only Bruce Willis would do it because he knew himself. You know what I mean? Like he didn't take himself too seriously. So it's more complex than Fall Guy. I don't even know what Fall Guy is about. You have to have Bruce Willis, right? Nicolas Cage would be good as well. But Bruce Willis playing Bruce Willis. Kind of felt like I've seen that movie. Well, you probably have, Jones. I wrote this script back in 2002. I'm sure there's a movie out there now that's made from it. My teacher loved it. He's like, "This is awesome." No, he's definitely not up to it now. One of my favorite movies from Bruce Willis. I mean, there's lots of them as well. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. One of my favorite movies is Fifth Element. I love Fifth Element. Fifth Element is such an underrated movie. Arnold Stallone could pull it off. Yeah, they could. They're a little older now. I mean, obviously, this was written 22 years ago. Galaxy Quest is an underrated movie, too. I like that. I like Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver. Multipass. Yeah. We know it's a multipass. I am a meat popsicle. Jones, yeah. A lot of people have never seen Fifth Element. Maybe not to you. I don't think it did very well in the box office. Hold on, let me look. It did 263 million worldwide. Domestic opening was 17 million. This is back in 1997. What was the Fifth Element budget? Ugh. Yeah, 90 million. Not too good. Not too good. We're talking it barely broke even. It made a profit. Don't get me wrong. It made a profit, but it didn't do very well. I swear I watched it 100 times. Oh, yeah. I've seen it so many times. 4 stones, 4 crates. 0 stones, 0 crates. See this little red button? A lot of people would have asked for what this little red button is. I love that movie. Chris Tucker was great in that movie. Let me see what you sent me, Salty. Yeah, I saw that. All right. Let's talk about the next story. Appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out with us in the mornings here. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like what we do here, make sure you hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. In fact, to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do live shows, uploads, shorts, gameplay, podcasts. So very busy Monday through Thursday. This last week I was a little slow. We haven't put uploads in for like almost a week. Just because of birthday stuff and whatnot. So some of the breakout videos that I did the last couple days will be up throughout this week. All right, the next story I want to talk about. Is I made a video of this when it first came out. I never posted it. I said that the finals could be the next big thing if it does these things correctly. I never posted that video. I think I have it on my computer somewhere. But so Nexus reveals the finals isn't performing as well as expected. Now, before I even read this article, gaming now is more competitive than ever before. Not because of like the same type of games coming out, just your time. We all have 24 hours in the day. right? We don't have 24 hours a day to play, but we all have the same amount of time in the day. And every time you're playing a game, you're not playing the other game, right? And there's way more games now to keep you in your attention, okay, or TV shows or YouTube channels or whatever. You're all competing, but just games in general, it's very hard for people to go play one game and then all of a sudden swap to the other because they're focused on, like a Destiny or a Warframe or, a Call of Duty or whatever it is, right? They're focused in. So Nexons reveals that the Finals isn't performing as well as expected. So in December, Embark Studios shadow dropped the Finals, a high-octane destructive first-person shooter with some hero elements worked in. It pulled a substantial audience overnight, reaching a peak player count of 250,000 users on Steam alone. This is a free-to-play shooter and was regarded as a major franchise pillar for Nexon. The game's publisher is a great accepts expectations of the following successful launch window. However, in the most recent financial update from Nexon, it also confirmed numerous times that the Finals isn't hitting expected targets, and also work is underway to find out why. Okay, it's not hitting the mark. They say the financial letter published in recent by Nexon says the launch in Season 2 in March created a short-lived increase in player metrics, but delivered a lower than expected retention and revenue. The Embark team is also working with the Korean-based live operation team to understand and address the key issues. The key issues is we don't have time to play your game. There's so many games out that people want to play. Not everyone wants to play a PvP game. Not everybody wants to play a single-player game. Not everybody wants to play a AAA game or quadruple A game or a competitive game or a single-player game or a co-op game or an MMO game or a free-to-play game. You know what I mean? There's so many different things out there, and more people have more options out there, right? It says elsewhere, Nexon admitted that the solid results of other titles in its portfolio were partially offset by the Finals shortfall. Ultimately, the Finals failure delivered the expectations meant that the publisher reported lower revenue than it was originally targeting, despite reporting the growth of MapleStory, ramped up success, and Dave the Diver. It wasn't as all bad, though. Nexon reported confirmed that the Finals push consolidated the MAUs up year-over-year basis, and the free-to-play nature of the game was always bound to attract a vast audience. It's also teething issues caused by rampant cheating weren't enough to keep away the core following. Now, that's not the end of the story, though. Nexon expected growth of Finals, particularly with the game's third season dropping in June. Okay, so look, we had stories, we talked about this, about the cheating. If you can't get a hold of your cheating, you can't get a hold of the cheating aspect of the game, your game's going to die. This is the biggest thing for PvP players. When you play a game, you go in, all of a sudden the cheating goes rampant. And then people are like, well, I'm not going to play this game because it's frustrating. I don't know who's cheating. I get killed behind a wall or whatever's happening in this game. Okay. And a lot of people are off-put by this. So like, I just don't want to play this. I just rather play a single-player game knowing that I'm not going to get killed because of cheaters, right? And a lot of other people that want to be competitive are like, well, these people are cheating, so I'm going to cheat because I need to cheat so I can compete with them. And then it just becomes this like snowball effect that happens, right? I said in a video that I made but didn't post it, it was a live stream that we never posted up. I said that this game will make it or break it based on if they can get held of the actual cheating. If they can get a hold of the actual cheating and stop the cheating from happening, this game could be the next like esports game, right? As big as Overwatch in its prime because of just the way they've created it as a competition, as a 3v3v3 with the game show within the actual game itself, right? I really like the X DICE developers that have created this with a fully destructible environment. I really like the gameplay as far as it's not my type of game anymore, but I did play it. I enjoyed my time with it. But at the same time, I was just like, it's missing something. And on top of that, that's before the cheating happened. Now that the cheating's there, it runs rampant through these games. It runs rampant through, like the PUBGs or the Tarkovs and stuff like that. And a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. Okay. So as long as they can get the stuff, now obviously expectations are different than the actual, right? They could have been like, oh yeah, we know, 400,000 people are going to buy this game or use a microtransaction in this game, but they expected, 2 million or 4 million. And they're like, oh, well, it only hit 2 million. It's 2 million below. Their expectations are low. So again, they don't actually tell you what the sales numbers are, what they're making. They just kind of tell you that it fell short, and this one microtransaction of this game and what they're making the revenue in this game gets tossed into the rest of the revenue, and they just tell you that this underperformed or it's below our expectations. What do you guys think about the Finals? Are you still playing it? Are you one of the people that loved it when it came out? Is the cheating still running rampant inside this game? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the actual live stream as well. And what do you think they have to do to get the finals come back in Season 2 and then Season 3 in June? Right? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And if you like what I do here, please check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Dave the Diver is an amazing game. I wanted to play it. I just don't have time, Jason. I watched a little bit of a video of it, some like gameplay of it, someone doing a let's play of it. I thought it looked very interesting. It looked like a game right up my alley, to be honest. Go on, Sen. Just like the summer movie blockbuster rush that happened after Independence Day, big hit. Game is good, fast queue times outside of rank, and they aren't selling enough microtransactions. Right. Cheating ruined Halo Master Chief Collection and Infinity. Or Infinite. There's also another game show theme game made by the ex-Battlefield devs. Is there another game? The Finals is the ex-Battlefield game, isn't it? Is there another ex-Battlefield developers, Jones, that made a game? I'm pretty sure that this was it, wasn't it? Or you talk about the new story that just came out recently that they're coming out with another Battlefield-type game. I still think the game would have been a great esports game. Hopefully, eventually it gets there. Because I don't think it will. I don't think it will. The only way this becomes a major hit is if the company itself puts money behind it like Activision Blizzard did with Overwatch. And then take money for teams like they did. If the game was for sale, I would buy it. No reason to buy microtransactions. Don't have time for Battle Pass. Right. Yeah. I saw what you put up there. We'll probably talk about it tomorrow night on GXG. The game maintains about 40k average player count. Sure, but how many people are buying microtransactions, right? See, this is the thing. With free-to-play games, is 40,000 enough? Right? Hold on a second. Let me do a comparison real fast. I want to see something. Okay. I want to put this in perspective. Okay? I'm taking two random games and I'm putting them against each other because one of the games is a failure, and the other is not. Okay? Before the story broke. Okay? The Finals. Okay? The Finals is a successful. Okay? 12,000 in the last 37 minutes, 15,000 in the last 24 hours, and 242,000 all-time peak. Okay? Let's go back 6 months here. I won't even let me go back. I want to let me go. I want to let me go. All right, whatever. Okay. We're just comparing, just for this conversation, we're just comparing Steam chart numbers to Steam chart numbers of a game that's supposedly super popular, the Finals, which is underperforming. Okay. It's been out for 5 months. Okay. 5 months. And it's super successful. Everyone's like, oh, I love it. And then there's the game that's been out for 5 years. Which is Fallout 76. Right? 72,000, which is a quarter of what they've made on the Finals of the all-time peak. Okay? 24-hour peak is 41,000. And in the last 38 minutes is 27. Now, I understand that the TV show is out, but this game has been around for 5 years. and it's making money. This game's been out for 5 months, okay, and it's struggling. Its peak is 15,000. We're getting your numbers from. Still have PlayStation and Xbox for what? For the finals? Sin says, unfortunately, I just don't have the free time to even try the finals right now between the shows I watch, the games I already play, and life itself. I'm booked. Yeah, and that's the issue with anything. Like right now, you're here watching my channel, right? You're probably doing something else in the background as well. Meaning you're not doing something else because you're doing this and something else, right? Robert Jones says, literally no reason for me to spend money. Also heard complaints about the Battle Pass being long to finish. Paul Gaming says some of these publishers just want to make billions a year. No, not some of them. Not some of the publishers. All publishers want to make billions a year. Smoke says, when does that drop? First Descendant. There's an open beta at the end of this month. I believe their final beta, I should say. And then sometime in the fall, I believe. Majority of the publishers are living in La La Land. 58,000 for Helldivers 2. Exceptional. No movies, no shows, no FOMO, just backlog games. Loving it. I'm loving it. Steam players account for D4 is 22,000 and Steam came out later. You're right. The reason I bring up the Steam charts, right? Because people are like, oh, this game is successful. This game's not. And yet one game has been around for 5 years and one game is struggling after 5 months. My point with that, bringing up that, is that Steam charts show absolutely nothing, right? Show absolutely nothing. They show you a fraction of what the actual player base is. Especially if it's on multiple platforms, okay? Which the finals is not, right? The finals is only on PC as of right now. I'm excited for First Ascendant. I didn't play the first alpha test. I played the second alpha test or beta test, whatever you want to call it. I was very surprised with it. I thought the mechanics felt good. I thought the open world felt a little bare for the First Ascendant. I'm excited if they keep the grind the same as they did in the beta, which I don't think they will. That's my biggest flaw, I think, or my biggest worry, I think, with the First Ascendant, is that they're going to make it more grindy once the game comes out. Because I unlocked 7 or 9 characters during the beta. I was like, this is good. If I can unlock characters like this, then cool. And I looked at that game and said, I hope that this is what Transformers is going to do, where I can unlock characters on a pretty steady pace. Paul Gaming says, reality is they only need a small core team working on the game like this, and it's paying the rent and wages, and they should keep them going. Smoke says, but to your other statement, pretty accurate, watching you a while clearing out Final Fantasy 16 side quests. Your other statement, pretty accurate, watching you while clearing out Final Fantasy 16 side quests. Yeah. It's exactly it. You're multitasking. You're multitasking, right? We only have a small finite time, especially if you're a family guy, right, or a family woman, right, where you have a husband or wife, partner, you have kids, animals, you have life, you have work, right? You want to play video games, you want to watch your TV shows. It's like in the background, like you're working at home, but yet you have like Netflix in the background. You're watching a TV show, or you're listening to my YouTube channel, and you're doing right. There's all of this that's happening. What's also on Xbox? The finals? Is the finals on Xbox? I thought it came out. I thought it came out just on PC originally, and then it was coming down the road on that. Because it's still in early access. Is it out right now? I can play it right now on my Xbox. Yes, it's on Xbox. Did it come out the same time in December when it came out on PC? It did. Go on, Mo. Yeah, First Descendant's going to be everywhere. Yeah, First Descendant's going to be everywhere. I just like the tech and the destruction. Well, yeah, it's from the Battlefield guys. The people that made the original Battlefield. What are you talking about, Mr. Digit? We're talking about the finals. I don't know if you're caught up. Who said Game Pass 3 times? I don't think anyone said Game Pass. I think Mo just heard the itch. I think Mo just felt the force, a disturbance in the force. Oh, well, someone asked about the First Descendant. Yeah, we're talking about the finals, but someone asked about the First Descendant. Yeah. Yeah, with free-to-play games, PvP, and with single-player games, the player base buys it, and then they dive down. But that's normal, you know what I mean? Well, I'm going back to Diablo. Time to ruin my life. Uh-oh. They have a movie for Wicked. The new trailer for Wicked just dropped. Oh, did you guys see this? Tell me this is... Where did you guys put it? You guys put it in our other news story. The other day we talked about how... Yeah. The other day we talked about how Disney Plus was teaming up with Max. Okay? And we talked about it, how it's going to be like, it's cable again. And then now this is happening, and we're going to talk about this more on GXG tomorrow night. But Comcast to launch Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV bundle. Hello? Do they think we're all retarded? We stopped paying for cable so they could have their streaming services, and now because all these streaming services are failing, they have to bundle it back up into basically a cable package. Right. Because he's like, you hate cable? Well, here's cable. That's right. We changed cable from a C to a K. Let our powers combine. Disney is combining HBO and Max, and now what? Just ready to cancel my Spectrum and keep the internet, and they're doing this. That's right. They want you to go back to cable. That's what they want you to do. They want you to go back to cable. It's a remastered cable. That's what they did, Water. They remastered cable. They've remastered cable. They decided, they're like, how do we do this? The streaming service are like Wonder Twins. They seem cool, but the powers are fucking pointless. With our powers combined, we make shitty television. Congratulations. You've made a shittier cable. It's like the FPL advertisement saying they're doing all these new things to help consumers save on their bill. What a lie. Amazing. I love our... I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this. This is just... I'm just going to read the title for you. Okay? I'm not even going to show you what website it's from. I'm just going to read you the title. Okay? You ready? More Xbox games are coming to PlayStation. It's claimed. That's an article. That's an article. Form of remaster woke shows the shape of cringe overpriced ideas. Kapow! Did you see the news article going around saying it could cost us $850 to watch the NFL this season? Yeah, not me. Only $60 with my Android box. $850 for NFL. I'm sorry. What? Smoke says, nah, I'm good. I'll just watch the Cowboys whenever they play the Giants, and I'm good. I'm good for the season. I just searched in Google $850 for NFL season, and it popped up right up. Right in the stadium, in the stadium or TV, you know, in your TV, on your TV, $850. Do you see what's happening? You see what's happening? You all asked for this. You all asked for this, right? You didn't want to go to theaters anymore. So now you get to combine all your cable on a streaming service that you're now going to pay more money for shittier movies coming out because they don't have the budget to put it in, right? Movies are shittier. Get to watch them at home, right? Now you're not going to pay for overpriced soda in the theater. You're going to go pay for overpriced soda and candy in the stores to watch in your house for overpriced streaming services. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Congratulations. We played ourselves. I'm a Giants fan. But I haven't watched sports. I used to be a diehard sports fan. Diehard. I used to know stats and statistics about every single person that played every single sport. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. I loved it. I lived and breathed it. It was unhealthy. Then my son was born. He'll be 10 this year. And I just stopped caring about sports. Just didn't have enough time in my day to care that much. Like, stop cold turkey. I watch games here and there. I'll look at scores and stuff. Someone somewhere is blaming Sarah Bond? Oh, for sure. My team sold out their entire season, so they'll be on the local channels, not paying anything. Nice. You're in Detroit, right, Rose? Best part about that article is it's like 2 paragraphs linking to Windows Central article. Oh, the article I said where more games are coming to PlayStation, it's claimed. No, it wasn't Forbes. It wasn't Forbes. Michigan, not Detroit, but yes. Sorry, didn't mean to insult you. Didn't mean to insult you. He's from 9 miles, not the 8 Mile. Sorry, I'm looking through Twitter real fast. I'm just trying to find other stories or whatnot. You know, now that they're just they burn rushing on the NBA spot for Christmas, there's never used to be NFL games on Christmas out of respect for NBA. That respect is dead as the old yeller now. I could have sworn, Sin, that there was games on Christmas, wasn't there? I know there was on Thanksgiving, but I thought NFL for at least a couple. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah. NFL had Christmas games since my birth. Yeah, it started in 1971. I was born in 78. They've always had games. The difference, though, back then in 1971, the playoffs started then. There was less games. Here, let's educate ourselves. I like educating myself. Okay? We do random stuff on this show all the time. Okay, this is NFL on Christmas Day. Games held on National Football NFL League Christmas Day is December 25th, an occasional part of the league's schedule, in contrast to Thanksgiving Day games. However, been an annual concurrence since Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday, while Christmas can also fall on day on the week. The NFL held 2 divisional playoff games on Christmas Day in 1971 when the regular season only spanned 14 weeks. This proved unpopular, and the league avoided any more games on Christmas Day until 1989. So there you go. Since then, the league has played occasional Christmas Day or Christmas Eve games in certain years as part of the Week 16 or Week 17 of the regular season. As at the end of 2023 season, there have been 30 Christmas Day games in NFL history. All broadcasted nationally, 2 games were played each Christmas Day: 2004, 2006, 2016, 2017, 2021, 2022, 2023. 3 games were scheduled. Previously, the NFL had typical scheduled games on Christmas Day if it fell on a Saturday or Sunday or Monday beginning in 2020 or 2020. League also has scheduled at least one Christmas game every season, even when the holiday falls on a day in which the NFL does not usually schedule games. So you are correct, because in recent years, if it doesn't fall on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, then they will still show it. So if Christmas Day falls on a Sunday, then normal slate Sunday afternoon games instead of played on Saturday, Christmas Eve, and one of the Christmas Day games will include a standard Sunday Night Football telecast. When Christmas Day falls on a Monday, the normal slate Sunday afternoon games will still played on Christmas Eve and Monday Night Football on Christmas night, but Sunday Night Football telecast has been moved to either Monday afternoon or Saturday, December 23rd. There you go. These past couple of years have now been having NFL games straight up taking NBA slots for Christmas now. And this year is straight bully tactics. Welcome to the random roundup section of the show. That's right. Well, the NFL doesn't like that video games took its spot as the number one piece of entertainment. Well, it all depends on what year, Smoke, right? If the game fell on a Sunday, then it would just be games as usual. But if it fell like on a Wednesday, and then they force a game on Christmas, that's completely different. You know what I mean? He says, I watch the NFL stuff free with my sports package in the UK. Well, lucky you. We got to pay $850 now. Polish regulators investigating PlayStation Store and Steam for anti-competitive. Ooh, okay. What's that? When did this come out? What's today? See what this? Yeah, it's a short article. All right. But it's in the middle of the night. Well, if I want to watch soccer or football, I gotta wake up in my ass in the middle of the night sometimes over here. That's because they're an untapped resource over there. It says Polish regulators to investigate PlayStation Store and Steam for anti-competitive practices. An inspection has already been taking place in Sony's headquarters in Poland. Dun, dun, dun. First comment someone's going to put in this section is, yeah, but PlayStation outsold Xbox, even though we're not even talking about it, right? Poland's Office Competition and Consumer Protection has launched a preliminary investigation into digital game platforms, including Steam and PlayStation stores, for anti-competitive practices. The relative and inspection has been taking place on Sony's headquarters in Poland, in addition to 2 unnamed video game developers and publishers. Evidence collected will investigate for signs of anti-competitive practices, such as prohibited agreements to abuse of a dominant position by providers for digital distribution platform for video games. The UOKIK highlighted that the effective engaging in the practices are also could harm consumers by excluding competing platforms and the exportation of the developers, a publisher, and higher prices for players. If the evidence indicates the competitive practices have taken place, the firms could also face fines up to 10% of their annual earnings. Managers involved could face a fine of up to a PLN 2 million or 507,000. Quote, the digital game distribution market is displacing traditional sales, said the UOKIK president. Okay, and gamers are increasingly less likely to buy games in boxes, but are sourcing digital copies on online sale platform at the same time. We see that there are also many restrictive practices by major players in the market. So there you go. Any bad news always turns into but Xbox. Absolutely. But to be fair, Paul, any bad news for the other side, they say PlayStation as well. It works both ways, but there was a video I watched this morning. Let me see if I could find it. On my other browser. I watched it this morning talking about oh no. No, that's not what I wanted. He had another video just recently.
Hey, everybody.
That 1 month ago? I literally just watched it this morning. Yeah, it was 11 hours ago. If you guys don't know Louis Rossmann, he always talks about very, very level-headed, like calm individual when he talks about stuff. I would never be this calm. I'm always yelling or something.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day.
Okay, we're gonna watch this real fast because he's talking about protection. Piracy is morality justified. Okay. After Telestra locked consumer purchases behind new hardware. Okay, so we're gonna watch this. Okay, we're gonna watch this.
In today's episode of You Will Own Nothing and Be Happy, I'm your host, Louis Rossmann. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting article that came out in The Guardian. It says, my whole library is wiped out. What it means to own movies and television in the age of streaming services. What I find interesting about this article is that it's not something that's in Reddit's r/piracy. It's not something...
Yeah, Rose, he is the most level-headed. Look, my voice right now is more high, like anger. Like you can hear it in my voice. Like I would never be an AI robot. You know what I mean? Like he is just super chill, but at the same time, he's like a bomb on the inside.
Something on Slashdot. This is something that's in a paper that tends to cover politics and modern news, natural disasters, war, stuff like that. It doesn't really cover the intricacies of the concept of ownership, and particularly when it comes to this type of technically savvy stuff that for the most part...
Hold on, is it do we have... Oh, we're normal. We're normal. Okay.
Lots of normal users are just not aware of, and many people don't care about. On this channel, I've been going over for a very long time how when you purchase something, you are often treated worse. You are treated like a second-class citizen, like a criminal, like a child you are expecting to...
That's true. That's true. If you pay for something, like for instance, I pay for Netflix, and when I go somewhere else to log into my Netflix, I have to do like a retina scan. I got to send in a P sample. I got to like sign in 10 times, put the passcode in, and then they're like, "Are you sure it's you?" Meanwhile, someone that hacks my account can just watch the film, or if they just pirate it, they just watch it, and it's no big deal.
Misbehave based on prior mischief when you actually pay for the media. Whereas when you pirate the media, you get a better experience. If we're talking about Reason, they took a perpetual license and took away your ability to use it and actually had the gall to call customers names when they thought that this was ridiculous and that they wanted their money back for their perpetual license. Over here, you have Netflix upcharging people for 4K access to content. If I were to pirate that content, I could get it in high bitrate, high resolution for
Right, you get it in better quality if you pirate it than you do if you pay for it. Like, think about this for a second. You pay, let's just go back to Wayfinders. You paid $150 to play the game, and you were a game tester for the entire time and decided to change the game up, and you still don't own that game, by the way. You paid $150, you still don't own the game. And yet, with media, for movies and stuff, you no longer own the video, you own shittier quality, and you pay a higher price. But if you pirate it, you get a better quality.
For free, watch it any way I want. But because I was an idiot and chose to use Netflix, you can only watch it on a smart TV, which essentially is engineered to spy on you, as I went over in that video, based on screenshots from the actual television. Or we're talking about you having to have a computer with HDCP and Windows 11 and this monitor and this cable and this graphics card and this processor. Because God forbid you use a computer of your choice to watch the content that you bought and paid for, you silly consumer. Or we're talking about Sony just stealing content out of customers' libraries because they call it a purchase, but on page 21 of their end user license agreement in terms of service, they say what you're purchasing is actually a revocable license they can take away at any given time to the content that they are supplying you temporarily. That's not what ownership used to mean.
Let's see, Mike, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about people promoting other pirating games? It all depends on what the studio is, right? It all depends on what the game is and the situation and the context of what it is, right? If it's a game that's a person that's not trying to take advantage of you in your pirating game, I have no if there's nothing wrong with the company and you're pirating the game, that's kind of a problem. But if you're pirating a game that the company is trying to stop you from getting, right? They're trying to put something there to block you, even though they're not supporting that game anymore. And you want to just go download that game and play that game. They don't want to sell it to you. You can't own that physical game anymore. Then if I can't own the game, then why do I want to purchase it? You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what the context is. I think some companies and some games, I'm okay with them pirating it because, like, for instance, Star Wars Galaxies, okay? They don't sell it anymore. You can't play it anymore. So if I went to a site where I could download Star Wars Galaxies and play Star Wars Galaxies MMO on someone else's server that they're putting up, then I should be able to do that without being, in trouble. But if it's a brand new game that just came out, like, I don't know, God of War, whatever the next one, God of War comes out like day one, and then someone's pirating it, that is a problem.
Or we're talking about Amazon, where when you purchase an ebook, if you move from country to country, you cannot take your book with you. Let's talk.
Lewis, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? I love your content.
Where when you purchase an ebook,
I love your content.
Move from country to country.
Can we do dark mode, please? Can we do dark mode? It's a request. Right? This is blinding me right now. My eyes are hurting me. Right? Just can we do dark mode? Just a request. I love your content. Just do dark mode.
You cannot take your book with you. Let's talk about today's story. Today's story is a story of Vicki Russell. Vicki Russell spent over $2,000 buying content online. And because it says purchase on the page, she actually...
Salty says, I'm in white mode. Sue me. You're not a content creator, Salty. If you're doing white mode and you're putting out a thing, I literally... Look at this. Look at this. I literally change all of my stuff, okay, to dark mode, okay? There's things that are, this is what it looks like, okay? And I change it to dark mode because I care. Just saying. Just saying, especially at night when someone's in their house. Maybe they're watching a video at night, right? Maybe they're watching a video at night and they're next to their girlfriend or their wife or whoever. And all of a sudden they put the, and it lights up the entire room and they're like, what the hell? Oh, sorry. I'm just watching 30. Release date? What are you talking about? Dave Rosa, fuck up plenty. When do you deserve to hear shit from it?
Was stupid enough, just like me at one point in time, to believe that what you were doing was owning something. I think
that's right. You want to support the developers. You want to support the studio. You want to support whatever. You're playing the game. Right? You're buying the game. You're buying the movie, the TV show.
At some point in time, we're stupid enough, we're tricked enough, we're naive enough to believe that when we bought something, we actually owned it. She spent $2,500 on all this different media, and she was told one day by Telstra, well, they're shutting down the service, it's going to be moving over to Fetch, so unless you spend extra money to buy hardware for Fetch, that $2,500 of stuff that you purchased,
$2,500 of stuff, gone, just like that.
Yeah, you don't actually own it and have access to it. Now, they did, after this made its way to the press and there was a stink made about it, finally give her the box for free that she would need to utilize the new service. But that's beside the point. Every single time a company does this thing where when you complain about them doing something shitty, when you complain about them doing something that's scummy, immoral, unethical, and occasionally just against the law, they treat you really nicely, like that guy that had his Samsung TV knifed. What it usually means is that they pay for that goodwill out of the money that they fleeced from everybody else. For every person that is getting a box for free because she contacted The Guardian, there are 1,000 people that are paying $200 to get back the thousands of dollars of media they already bought and paid for.
Right. Not only are they telling you, we're removing your stuff from the server for you that you already paid $2,000, in her case, $2,500 worth of content. But then they're like, well, if you want this, then you have to give us an additional $200 so you can still keep access to it. Go fuck yourself.
And the sad thing is that in spite of the fact that they call it purchase, if you take a look at their terms of service, you will find many interesting points over here. So if we go over to the terms of service, there are 3 points that I think are worth pointing out. Number 1 is section 2.1. Section 2.1 says accessing your content. The problem here is that they call it yours. And
yeah, it's your content. They have to get rid of that word. It's not your content, it's their content. It should say our content. Any content that we let you buy or rent, okay, on the service is linked to our account and only accessible through our service is what it should say.
that is the part that is fundamentally misleading. Any content that you buy or rent on the service is linked to your account and is only accessible through the service. If your service or account is terminated or suspended for any reason, you will no longer have access to any content you have rented or bought on the service. So there are a couple of things to go over here. The first is that they use the word buy your content, implying that what you bought and paid for is content that is yours. But can something truly be yours if somebody else that is not a legal authority, that is not a policeman, an FBI agent, or something like that, can just take it away from you without due process? In my opinion, no. If they can take it away from you.
Companies should let us 1,000%. I buy that thing. I should be able to download it on my local thing, and I own it. I own it. I can put it on a thing and I can own it because I paid for it, okay? But no, it's a license that they let you have it until they tell you you can't have it anymore.
From you, then you don't own it. The same way I've been arguing for over 10 years that if you cannot fix what you bought and paid for, you don't actually own it.
Like if I buy the thing, okay? If I buy the thing, I should be able to put it on a disc and own it, okay? Now, obviously, if I'm mass producing the disc and then selling it off on a thing, that falls under completely different laws, okay? And you should be processed, okay, if you're trying to make a business off of burning a disc that you just bought for yourself, okay? That's completely different. But if I bought something and I have 2,000 movies on digital format and all of a sudden you're closing down, I should be able to either you give me that in a nice little format and you mail it to me because I own it, or I should be able to download it and put it on a disc and I keep it for myself.
Manufacturer does. You're simply renting it until it breaks. The second thing to go over here is that they're saying that if your account is terminated or suspended for any reason, you don't get access to the content that you bought and paid for. They're not going to give you a file. They're not going to send you a disc. Everything you bought is essentially gone.
They're not going to do anything. You know why? Because shipping is expensive. They don't want to send it to you. They don't want to do more work on their side. They just want to sit back and collect money, doing absolutely nothing.
And that's really important because we now live in a world where you can have your account deleted by one of the world's most prominent, well-known, richest companies because they think that you have a racist doorbell. No, really. And
I'm sorry. Did you just say a racist doorbell? Amazon accuses customer of racism and shuts down their smart home. What in the F? And the reason my eyes are not getting big because of the article, they're getting big because of the white format that it's in. Okay?
After I talked about it, my account was also removed as well. I'm a YouTube content creator. You know what that means? That means that we here on YouTube are at the cutting edge of being managed by an artificial intelligence that has borderline personality disorder. We don't know why these things make the decisions that they do. We don't know why it is Amazon thought that this gentleman had a racist doorbell. There are many things in this world that can be racist.
What? What did his doorbell do? And he got banned. And then Lewis got banned for talking about it. Wow.
Racist, and there are many things in this world that are racist. One of them is not doorbells. This man had his smart home shut down because they thought a doorbell was racist.
The dude had his house shut down for smart home shut down because it thought his doorbell was racist. What is happening right now?
Have $2,000 of what you bought, what is yours, taken away from you, if not.
What about if he bought the racist doorbell from Amazon themselves? Maybe Amazon's giving racist doorbells out.
Artificial intelligence that's lower in IQ than people who work at the Genius Bar decides that you should just have your account deleted that day for no reason. Because none of this is managed by humans anymore. It's managed by AI. And again, as a YouTube content creator, we are at the forefront of being managed by AI with personality disorders. I just had a video deleted yesterday.
Oh, I hate when this happens. You get a notification of your video. Something's wrong with your video. They send you like the portion of your video, and you look at it and you're like, what's the problem with it? Now, as a small content creator, when you get a notification like this, it scares the living shit out of you because you could get a copyright strike on you, right? You could have 1 strike of 3 strikes and then you're done, okay? For like the stupidest things, right? So all of a sudden you click on it, and you're like, what's the problem? And then when you go, I want to fight it, you fight it, and it's like, are you sure? Did you file this? You're like, and you like watch the video over and over. You're like, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, fuck it. And then I'll submit it. And you got to fill in what it is. And then all of a sudden it comes back to you and you're like, oh, thank God I didn't. Like, you get the living crap scared out of you because you think you're in the wrong, even though there's nothing wrong with it because it's AI. The algorithm is pulling it something because it hears something or thinks it hears something.
That I created 2 years ago. It says that this video had medical misinformation in it. And when I fast forward to the timestamp of that video, I'm saying that it's raining and it's cold outside.
I have a windbreaker that's water is. This weather sucks.
Okay. So he's being, take a look at your content, keep policies in mind. Okay. Let's, medical misinformation, what to look for. Content that poses a serious risk, okay, of harm by spreading medical misinformation by currently administration vaccines that are approved to conform to be safe and effective by local health authorities and the World Health Organization, right? Timestamp 129, okay?
I have a windbreaker that's water resistant and some supposedly waterproof pants.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Poses a serious risk of egregious harm by spreading medical misinformation about vaccines.
We're at 137. Nothing was said. Nothing was said. It's literally riding a bike in the rain. Where is the medical misinformation about vaccines? Hold on, maybe we missed it. Maybe we missed it. Let me rewind. Okay, hold on. Let's listen.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I don't hear anything. I don't think the rain's telling misinformation.
Egregious harm by spreading medical misinformation about vaccines. Oh wait, I'm just riding my bike in a bike lane in New York City. Being silent after saying that the weather is not great. It doesn't matter if
Misinformation.
you are someone with 2 million subscribers or a regular person. We all are at the mercy of systems that can ban us willy-nilly for no good reason, that work like trash. Simply try to respond to a YouTube comment and see how often that shit doesn't show up. It's one thing when that just means that you cannot troll your fellow man. It's another when it means that thousands of dollars of what you paid for is no longer yours. And this is a problem that is not going away. If you take a look at section 3.1,
play the rain backwards.
when we can withdraw content. And notice over here that they're kind of removing the veil. They're no longer calling it yours because they're saying that they can take it back from you. When we can withdraw content, we can withdraw content from you if one or more of the following occur. A, we no longer have the right to make the content available to you. B, the studio for whom we license the content requires us to withdraw the content. C, we reasonably consider that we may be in breach of any laws or subject to a third-party claim by continuing to supply the content to you as part of the service for buying content. Or D, we are no longer offering the service or the relevant content or the purchasing of content as part of the service. So essentially, they can take away the content at any given time from you.
Any given time. No reason whatsoever. They're just like, it's a Monday in the afternoon. They're like, we're taking your content that you just paid for. I'm sorry, what?
It is not actually yours. And this is something that's really important to think about, because when we talk about the concept of ownership, I mean, are these companies going to be around forever? If we are truly not allowed into sort of archival measures, which are now considered piracy, that means that essentially any media will at some point be gone. Companies go out of business. Most of the studios, most of the production companies that produce some of the great works, Gone with the Wind, The Tale of Two Cities, the production companies, the publishers, the distributors, they are long gone.
Yeah, there's so many studios that close and other people buy the rights to that piece of entertainment, if it's music, if it's art, if it's movies, if it's video games, and then that company that bought it then all of a sudden gets bought out and goes underneath another umbrella. All of these companies at some point will close or go out of business in some way, shape, or form, and yet they're protected. But the people that buy the products are not protected. We are not protected in any way, shape, or form.
If we were simply renting access to this, almost all the great works of history would not exist. And this is not even taking into account the concept that standards for what is okay change over time. We see this today where something that was okay 10 or 30 or 80 years ago is considered disgusting now. So we wouldn't even be able to analyze these great works of history in the same way because we wouldn't even be able to watch them. But the worst part of it all, in my opinion, is when we go over to section 7.1. 7.1 is the most egregious because what 7.1 demonstrates is that you're not actually signing a terms and conditions. You're not signing a contract. You're not putting pen to paper and agreeing to something. You are agreeing to an ethereal hologram, something that can change at any given time. Your signature stays static, but the rest of it...
That's true, too. You signed something based on the rules that you signed up for, right? For instance, what just happened with Helldivers... The TOS before May 3rd was that you hit OK for the PlayStation Network, and it said optional inside the terms of service. But now they re-changed it. They changed it over, okay, and they changed the wording. And they can change that at all times. I bet you they do it daily, but you don't actually see it because no one actually checks, okay? And they can check it, but because you already signed, your signature stays to that contract regardless if they change that contract, okay, the terms of service. You signed, so they can change it anytime they want, and you've already signed. You don't have to re-sign again based on the new information.
It is just something that could, change as easily as a projector changing a slide on a screen. When you look at 7.1, from time to time we may change these terms to reflect our changing business or legal requirements. We will inform you if we make material changes to these terms unless the changes benefit you or have a neutral impact on you. So that means that this is not a contract. I believe that if you try to change the contract, that my signature is no longer going to be there. But that's not the way it works nowadays. You sign a contract, which means you've signed it for life, but apparently they can change the terms of the contract willy-nilly.
Yeah, but there's a difference between signing and hitting OK. Hitting OK is not signing a contract, right? You're not actually signing your name. You're hitting a button that says OK. And if they do that at the time, then you've already had the game. You already hit the OK, and now it's like 4 months. And I'm not talking about Sony here, just in general. If they change the stuff, and if you don't hit OK, then you can't continue playing the game. Well, then give me my money back, right? If you're going to change the TOS, then I should have an option to give you the game back and get my money back after a certain period of time as well.
After the sale, which you go over regularly on this channel. And I'm sick and tired of it. At this point in time, I think it is the moral and ethical duty of many of the people that watch this channel to, by all means, find indie art, find indie software, find indie game studios, pay for people, pay for content, pay for software that does not abuse you. This is all about control. These companies want control over every single element of the distribution chain, and let's be real, every single element of what it is you do in your home with your own technology and your own personal life. And at some point, you have to send the message that enough is enough. I cannot fix my own things. I cannot run an operating system of my choice on my phone. I can't have a micro SD card slot anymore. Everything is now connected to the cloud in some way, shape, or form, and can have your ability to use it, removed, or revoked at any given time. I cannot buy physical media anymore. I cannot fix what I bought and paid for. I cannot get parts to what I bought and paid for. If I find parts to my equipment, it won't work because the parts have serial
they have serial numbers on them.
Serial numbers on them and require a manufacturer proprietary tool to pair them to my existing device, so I can't even buy a used one from the dumpster and use the parts from it salvaged to fix what I own.
Which Asus is doing right now, right? Asus has got a scam going on where they're charging money for things that weren't even broken in the actual device.
Enough is enough. I've been talking about this with Repair for 10 years, and many people have not been listening because they didn't care about getting something fixed. They said, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. What are you, an idiot that drops things? Are you poor? You can't just buy it again?
I love this when people say that. Just sign up. Not a big thing. What are you, broke? What are you, poor?
Well, enjoy the world that you advocated for.
Right.
You didn't care when it affected somebody else, so now you live in a world where nobody cares when it affects you. And by the time people start to care, the problem is that by then, it's too late.
Yep.
This has not just been a problem.
My analogy, house is burning outside your house, but your house is not on fire, so you don't give a shit about that. Instead of going helping the fellow man, you're like, well, my house is not burning, so I'm okay. And then when it gets to your house, you're like, someone help me, my house is on fire. Right? That's what's happening.
Now, this has been a problem for over 20 years. When my father would watch this television show called 24, I'm never going to forget season 4. This is the season that you think Jack Bauer is going to die. Agent Spaulding is about to kill Jack Bauer. He thinks he killed Jack Bauer on command of Walt Cummings, who is doing it to try and protect President Logan. My dad used to tape this, and the VCR screwed up that night because it's
the days of recording television shows, which you were allowed to do, to rewatch it.
2004, and he has a VCR that's from 1988, and it screws up and it doesn't record it. Back then, you had 3 choices. Behind door number 1, you can wait 6 months for it to come out on DVD.
A year.
And watch it in 480 resolution. Behind door
shittier quality.
number 2, you could beg every single person that you know to ask every single one of their friends if they know somebody that
Spoilers? Fucking show's 20 years old.
had a better VCR that may be able to lend the tape to you. Behind door number 3, you could pirate it online, find it on Usenet, and you can easily get an X264 copy from CTU or Dimension, typically with better encoding settings.
Plus, it's season 4. I think there's like 10 seasons.
If it was from CTU. Just saying, they were using SubMe 6 when Dimension was using SubMe 1, because some release groups just have no standard for quality, just no dignity, no integrity. And you could get this lovely looking copy at 720p the night of. Piracy, 20 years ago, provided you with
If you know there's 10 seasons, Rose, you're already spoiled. Because Bauer doesn't die in seasons 1 through 9. I don't even know if he dies in 10. I don't even know if there's 10 seasons. I've never watched the show, so.
better quality, faster service, and better service than what you would get if you paid full price. 20 years later, the same thing is true. I'm sick and tired of this garbage, and what I'm suggesting everybody in my audience do is stop paying for this. I'm not even suggesting you pirate it anymore. I want you to send a message that this is not even worth pirating. But if you are going to do that, I want to send a message to you right now. If you watch this video and you push back, if you think that what I'm saying is wrong, if you think that we shouldn't own what we bought and pay for, I've got a message for you. I don't know what you want, but if you're here to restrict digital rights, I can tell you that I have no patience for that. But what I do have is a very particular device, a Pioneer BDR2213.
Let me write that down real fast. Let me write that down real fast. Not that I'm not gonna do anything. I just want to make a BDR 2213 Pioneer. Okay. Just taking notes. Just taking notes.
With a very particular set of firmware. A set of firmware that is so old that firmware has been on this drive since I still had hair. This is a device that I've acquired over a long career championing digital freedom. A device that makes me a nightmare for those who try to strip away our rights of ownership. A device that makes me a nightmare to people like you. If you respect consumer rights now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for loopholes. I will not pursue workarounds. I will not continue to collect copies of this with the original firmware in my garage to the point where I have over 1,000 of them. But if you don't, I will look for solutions. I will find them.
Just like gamers. You make the game, and they will find the solution and the shortest path to get to that thing. And then they nerf it, and they buff it, and they do the same thing over again. Just like with the content that you have, people will find a way to get the content. So you can do it right, or you can let us do what we want.
I will share them, and I will use them. Some people have 100,095 masks in their garage, waiting for the moment that a pandemic will occur. Other people fill their 4-car garage with Blu-ray drives with 10-year-old firmware. Think about it. About it. Think about it. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video.
He's so calm. He's so calm. I'd be like, they're stealing our stuff. I'd be screaming from the rooftops. I'm doing it right now. Like, yeah, they're just trying to kill. They're just trying to kill you. They're just trying to take all your stuff. Don't worry about it. Please share, like, and subscribe. I'm like, they're stealing your stuff. They're taking it away from you. Does he have a video of his garage? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. What are you ensuing? His channel is called Louis Rossman. I'm gonna put it in the description of this video because we watched this video and I always link everybody that I watch on our channel. So hold on one second. Let me update it because it wasn't gonna be on here, but. Yeah, it's in the description down below, Billy. Ron Slusher says, skills I've acquired over a long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. Sometimes he flips the bird and does the FU motion. It's hilarious. I watch a lot of his stuff. I do. Oh, yeah, I've been watching him for years, Argus. He's almost too calm? Yeah, it's like a scary calm. It's a scary calm, Smoke. They steal your stuff, but you can't steal Division Heartland anymore because that shit got canceled. Oh, did it, Krebsy? Is there a report on that? Did it get canceled? Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, no problem, Smoke. That's the kind of calm that gets shit done? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I might as well read it. I won't talk about too much because we usually stop the stream now, but we'll read this. Ubisoft cancels Division Heartland. The company will remove resources to bigger opportunities such as X-Defiant and Rainbow Six. Oh, you mean this X-Defiant right here? Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? You mean this X-Defiant is doing away with skill-based matchmaking? We believe that no skill-based matchmaking is paramount to a fun and varied game. You mean that game that they're putting towards? That game? Ubisoft has canceled the upcoming free-to-play shooter Tom Clancy's Division Heartland amidst larger plans to focus on resources on bigger opportunities. The news has revealed that part of the Ubisoft's earning release this morning, with the company saying that they redeployed resources to bigger opportunities such as X-Defiant and Rainbow Six. Let me tell you something. I said it before and I'll say it again. X-Defiant will be a fart in the wind. They've changed that thing so many times in what they're doing. Okay? They've changed it so much that game's also going to bomb. Just letting you know. Okay? The move is part of a larger, longer process Ubisoft has been undergoing in recent quarters to restructure its teams, cut costs, and concentrate in resources into fewer, bigger games. Oh, wait a minute. Is Phil Spencer to blame for this? Is Sarah Bond to blame for this? It seems like every company is restructuring and cutting costs and shrinking down their teams. Okay? The Division Heartland was first announced back in 2021 and was being developed by North Carolina-based Red Storm Entertainment and was quietly delayed not long after its reveal. It's also planned release moving in its last financial year, but it never materialized. Heartland did go through multiple testing phases and was publicly playable state recently and received a rating in Taiwan, leading fans to believe the release was imminent. But it seems to be a false alarm. Ubisoft has been on this game canceling spree of late, having to shut down 3 unannounced games, including a mysterious Project Q, as well as Immortals Phoenix Rising 2 just last year. The prior year, Ubisoft canceled 4 other announced games, with the company explaining that the decision by saying it has been trying to make too many games at once. And in the last year in particular, Ubisoft, like many other major gaming companies, has been undergoing major cost-cutting measures, which also include the aforementioned game cancellation, studio closures, and multiple rounds of layoffs. A noted Ubisoft earnings release, it was also reduced its employee number by over 1,700 people over 18 months. Where's all the stories about that, right? Retained the continued improvement as of March 2024. Ubisoft employs 19,011 employees globally. Okay. In today's earnings call, CEO Yves Guillemot told investors that the company was back on track. I butchered that guy's name, by the way, for the profitable growth trajectory, noting company's records annual, quarterly, and net booking reports today. Going forward, the CEO continued the company will pursue the strategy of returning to leadership to open world adventure games while expanding its games as a service offerings. This year, the company expects to release Assassin's Creed Shadows, just fully revealed today, Rainbow Six Mobile, Star Wars Outlaws, and the Division resurgence of X-Defiant. Okay? And the technology Ubisoft is narrowing and focusing on its own internal game engines is just 2 branches, Anvil and Snowdrop. And this is aggressively pursuing generative AI technique, especially with the NEO NPC program. For the full year, Ubisoft reported a $2.5 billion in net bookings and a $436 million in operating income developing. So there you go. So it looks like it's not just a Microsoft thing. It doesn't look like it's a Sony thing. It doesn't look like it's an industry-wide thing that people are losing their jobs and they're canceling games left and right because games are getting too expensive and people don't have to buy games. But when they do buy games, they're being overcharged big time and get burnt because the companies don't make a game, sell a game. They make a half-assed game, put it out there at full price, double the price, and then you have to wait a year, 18 months, okay, 24 months for that game to be finished. And then, and maybe only then, do you get the full game when you pay the money up front, okay? Instead of putting fate in these companies, hold your money until they actually come out with a product, okay? And save that money. The money that you were going to pay for that DLC a year from now, take that money, put it in the bank. By the time that DLC comes out, I guarantee you the game will be on discount and the DLC will be half off because no one's playing the game at that point. Then you can take the money out and then put it into that game. And I'll tell you what, then you can give a membership to somebody else across YouTube in someone else's channel because that money is going to go much better to a better place than to these companies themselves. Just my thought. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about the Ubisoft cancellation of the Division Heartland? And what other games do you think they're going to be getting rid of going forward? Okay. I don't know. What's the other one called? What's the other one called? Not the Heartland one. They have that other one that they're doing. What is it? It's the other, not the Heartland. Multiple testing phases. No, that's not it. I mean, they're working on Division 3. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, interesting. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Ron Slusher says X Defiant is already on live support. The X Defiant's like, we're making this game. No, we're changing it. We're making it like a Call of Duty game. Nope. Now we're going to change this, and we're making it no skill-based matchmaking. They keep changing like the wind. They have no idea what they're doing with that game. Is Skull and Bones dead yet? I mean, it's out. People are still playing it, so no. It's pronounced Eve. Thank you, Alien. Let me see if I can butcher his name again. Eve Guillemont. Guillemont? Is that how you pronounce it? Eve Guillemont. Butchered it. Resurgence. That's it, Krebsy. Resurgence. What is X Defiant? That's the trick question. What is X Defiant? What is it? X Defiant is definitely going to flop. The gamer space has become much more picky and ravenous. Yeah, they're trying to look. Don't get me wrong. It'll find a core base, but how big is that core? How big is that core? Got lots of windows open. I gotta close some of these. It'll find like 1,000 player base, maybe, if it's lucky. Garrett says it's free, so I'll try it out. It's okay to try a game out, Garrett, right? But the problem is the game already doesn't know what its identity is because it keeps changing what it's doing. I mean, obviously, try it. That's the best thing, right? Try the game. If you like it, then you can continue to play. But let me put it this way: if X Defiant was a paid game, would you play it? Would you risk that $50? Would you risk that $70? You know, in this landscape, I don't think you would. Ron says X Defiant can be saved if they just add an extraction mode that requires a PlayStation Network account to play on Xbox. Is Ubisoft still doing the Battle Royale hypescape? I'm not sure. You know, Zinthos. Sorry, I said your name wrong. X Defiant is basically COD. Well, it wasn't, and then they decided to make it more like COD. They've pushed that game back more than Heartland. X Defiant's been pushed back more than Heartland. Kurt says, I really enjoy the Division series. I really respect what they created compared to what they've been coming out with. I like Division 1. I got burned with the DLC that I paid for. That's what burned me. I paid for the content and then had to wait, and it was delayed and all this other stuff. Division 2 was a very good game. It was a much better game than Division 1. But then the live service aspect just feels like it just feels like it's on life support. It just feels like it's on life support. But what Division 2 has done with the targeted loot and just everything in that game, every game that comes out like a looter shooter should look at Division 2 and go, that's what you make the system. That's what you do. If they don't raise the bar to what Division 2 did, it's a failure in my opinion. That should be the standard going forward. If you make a looter shooter, what Division 2 did, okay, should be for every game across the board for targeted loot. If they don't do targeted loot, failure. Starfield feels better. Oh, is the update out? Is the update out? You better tell splash damage then. Salty, yeah, they better do it. Otherwise, it's a failure. Oh, Kurt, yeah. What Division does, what they've done with Massive has done with Division, when you walk into a setting, like, it tells a story. Like the level design in Division 2 when you go into a strike when you go into a strike or a mission is fantastic, man. They did a fantastic job. Imagine having enough money to start multiple games and then decide after 2 or 3 years of development to cancel the game with nothing to show for it and still remain open. Where do they get that money? It's very true, Sarge. Targeted loot is a bit of an end-of-life update, in my opinion. You're not wrong, Paul, but what I'm saying is a looter shooter should all, no matter what it is, should be targeted loot. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, all looter shooters that come out after this should look at what Division 2 is doing, and it shouldn't be an end-of-life update. It should be an actual, at the start of the game, targeted loot. Ubisoft still has Siege. That seems healthy. Now, when it came out, they had to completely change and rework what Rainbow Six Siege was. Remember, it had a really bad start. I think you should be able to target mid to high-end gear, but never the best-in-class item, which should always be RNG-based. Yeah, but in Division, they do it correctly, right? You can get the gun that you want, and then to level that gun up to make it a god-tier gun, you still have to play the game, break down a bunch of guns, put it into that other system, and then build that. It's not like you're getting that gun god roll instantaneously. You're putting time into the game, but you can get the gun and then build that gun up over time. You could still try to get the god roll just randomly drop in the world. But if you can't, it's not wasting, it's respecting your time. Meaning, I can run that and get the LMG that I want to get, but it doesn't have the rolls that I want on it. But then I can go change the rolls by still grinding and breaking down other weapons and throwing them into this other system so then I can level up that thing. That's a fantastic way. You're not wasting your time. You don't have a 0.00000019% chance. Right? That's what it's supposed to be. Right? People don't have time to sit there and grind for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, just so they can get the gun. And once they get the gun, they're like, I'm kind of tired of the game because they burnt themselves out trying to get the gun. Rainbow Six Siege is still going strong too? Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what you just said. Yeah, Siege is doing well, but in the beginning, Rainbow Siege sucked. They had to change it real fast. It wasn't great when it came out. Great now. Same with For Honor. For Honor wasn't good when it came out. But yet they keep supporting it. What, it came out 2016? 2017? We're almost 8 years in. Beyond Good and Evil 2? What's going on with that? UK government has said that the game companies have no legal requirement in the UK law compelling them to support older products. Interesting. Hold on one second. I gotta find something. Hold on. I love it. You guys, okay, I'll turn in chat in our Discord. You lied to me, 30. They said it's been regularly sold out. What type of magic trick did you do to find those week or two ago? Please let people know because it keeps getting sold out. I literally went to Amazon right now. You can buy it right now. Right now. Like literally. PlayStation Portal right now. PlayStation Portal. Okay. Delivery. I can get it Tuesday. I can get it next Tuesday. Or faster delivery by Friday. Right? Let me go to Target. Let me see if Target has it. Right now. I can get it right now. In stock. In stock. Ready within 2 hours to pick up. I can buy it right now. Right now. Add to cart. Purchase online. Get it by Saturday, May 18th. In stock. Ready within 2 hours. I can go pick it up right now on Target. I can go buy it at Amazon. I can go buy it at Walmart right now. But yet, PlayStation Portal demand has exceeded supply for several months, saying tracking PlayStation Portal has regularly been sold out since its November launch last year. But miraculously, nobody by me is buying it. Nobody by me. In Walmart, in Target, Best Buy, or Amazon. Amazing. Amazing. I played Stellar Blade on my PlayStation Portal fiber wired internet in the PlayStation 5 Portal on the same home Wi-Fi, and Stellar Blade wasn't running fantastic. Felt a little latency, and it had occasional. I got one day delivered. I get it tomorrow. Right now, Mo? I just love people that say they're flying off the shelf. Do you understand flying off the shelf means that you can't get your hand on it? Can't get your hand on it. Like the PlayStation 5 when it came out, you could not get your hand on it. Like the Nintendo Switch, where you couldn't. You had to wait months and months. I can literally go pick it up. I can leave right now. I can walk slowly to the store and go pick it up because they have an abundance of them in the store. This has nothing to do if it's a good device or bad device, and well, what's Microsoft doing? It's just the fact that people say that it's flying off the shelves. You do not know the term flying off the shelf. Flying off the shelf means it can't keep its stock. As the guy's taking, going, we have new stock, a person tackles them, not just one person, like 5 people, and they all wrestle, and they're elbowing each other, right, to get the actual device. That's flying off the shelf. Where you have to wake up 2 a.m. in the morning, wait outside in the rain to stand in line so when they open the doors, you can tackle somebody to run to the back of the store to grab it. That is flying off the shelf. It's flying off the shelf when I throw it. I think it's funny. All right, I gotta get going because I gotta eat lunch. And it's swim day for my my son. Let's see. PlayStation Portal. Oh, it's in stock. Yeah, it's in stock right now. Best Buy. So I could choose. I could stand in one location and look at Target, Walmart, and Best Buy and my phone at the same time and go, where do I want to purchase it? It's in stock everywhere. Flying off the shelves. People can't get it. For fuck's sake. I could go to Best Buy, buy it, and on my phone as I'm talking to somebody, I can buy another one. Just in case the other one breaks. But it doesn't matter. I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I can't use them. So they just be paperweights. I'll tell you what. If anyone's looking for one, I will pick it up for you. You pay me back if you can't get it in your area. You pay for shipping. You pay for the stuff. I will go pick it up for you. I will ask for nothing in return. You pay for the device. You pay for your shipping, and I will ship it to you if you can't get it because it's flying off the shelves of where you are. All right, and on that note, we're done this morning. I appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out with us. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We talk about a couple different stories. We have a good time, banter back and forth. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We'll be back tonight playing video games at 8 p.m. I think we're going to be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 with Sarge this evening. If not, we might check out the Starfield update, but I'll be honest, I'd rather play Star Wars Battlefront 2 with a couple of you guys. So come back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we shoot the shit while shooting the shit on our Wednesday night edition of stuff. Appreciate it. Krebsy says, the tweet isn't even quoting properly. The actual quote is exceeded supplies for several months now, and not massive units, but pretty good. But hey, we get the actual quote. I mean, I put it right on the screen. I didn't misquote anything. I literally read what the guy said. Right? The flying off the shelves thing is from people in the chat the other day when they said they're flying off the shelf. Oh, you're saying the guy who put it on the screen didn't quote it correctly. Well, I can't help them. All right, you guys have a great one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.